Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Was Bullied and Got Chaotic Powers Part 2. Before we start, please go support JoestarGhoulZ for writing that awesome fanfic. This is the translated version I made. There will be some mistaken characters' gender, but of course Issei is a male. Chapter Issei vs Ria's Part 1. In a house you can see a black-haired couple watching the news, but they were in shock since they were broadcasting about the Kuo Academy, especially showing that Sona and Michael were gullible. Woman. No, it can't be true, terrified. Man. How is that possible if Sona was doing a good job? Woman. This has to be a joke, like when she realizes something. Serafal was right, we are idiots to do that. Man. I can't believe it, I completely failed everything. What would you do, Serafal? He said while looking at a photo of them, but with them was Sona with a serious face and in the background Serafal upset. The next day. It was a Saturday afternoon while the students were spending their time having duels as usual, and others went to walk around other places, but we noticed the inn where Issei was having a video call with his family who are in Kuo. Issei. So they took them to the police station, and what did they say? Mickey. Well, at first we didn't know what to say because we were so nervous seeing your brothers threatening us, but when they told us we were on parole and we decided to confess everything. Issei. I see, but they didn't want to protest or attack them. Boru. Well, yes, but they took them away so they can find out what punishment they will do and what changes they will have from now on. Issei. I see. Mickey. And how is your sister still wanting to conquer that boy you said was an emo? Issei. Hahaha, well yes, since she tried to do everything possible to get him to notice her, but Ray appears, as she called love rival, haha, that's funny, smiles. Mickey. I wonder when you'll find the right one, at least that poor Hitch Azazel has for a daughter will get what she deserves. Issei. Don't worry, I'll find her, and when that happens I'll let you know. Boru. Let's hope so, bye son, hangs up. Issei. Looks at the ceiling, the one. Well, the truth is it only comes to my mind Angela, haha, she's fun and cheerful, remembering the first days living with her, but of course there's Ria's, remembering the redeed, although she looks familiar to me. Then he gets memories or images of a red-haired girl holding chaotic cards and smiling at him until he hears. Girl. When we are players I will be your wife, smiles. Issei reminds me of that girl I met in Kuo, could it be? Beep beep. Issei. Reacts and sees that he received a notification on his scanner, let's see, answers it. Referee. Lord Krisman Dragon has been challenged to a 6 vs 6 battle by a surprise challenger. Please go to the Chural Dome, his fight is in 30 minutes. Issei. What a fight in the Chural Dome, look at the time9, I better get ready. In the kitchen. Sama. Looking at the ingredients, let's see, maybe I'll make something special for dinner, thoughtful. Angela. Looking at a love magazine, maybe if I continue like this I'll beat Ria's. She hears some footsteps to see that Issei was running. Issei, where are you going? Issei. I have to go to the Chural Dome since I have a surprise challenger battle. Sama. Good luck, Issei, since those who challenge him are either idiots or expert players. Issei. Okay, bye, he's leaving. Angela. I don't know, but I feel like this is a surprise. Sama. Well, we have to find out, takes a remote control and turns on a television that was in the kitchen. With Issei. He was following the directions until he reached the dome where his battle would take place. Issei. It looks a bit similar to the Kreland, but what does it matter, enters the dome. But without knowing that Issei was being spied on by Akeno and 4 other girls. 1. Do you really think his plan will work? Akeno. Hey, I'm the same, but this is your chance. 2. But I'm still surprised that if it doesn't work, they'll bet on what will happen if each of them loses. 3. But I wonder if Hyoudou would be on his level. 4. Well, the day before yesterday we saw that someone from your inn beat up Soul Senpai, I feel like it's possible that that will happen again. Akeno looks at the dome screens, let's see if this works. In the dome. Issei left his scanner in the reader. Issei. Very well, let's see who is my surprise challenger. Well, here I am, Ice. Issei. He is surprised since Ria's was there. Ria's what? Ria's. Surprise, leaves your reader. Issei. Wait, maybe. Referee. This battle was requested by Ria's Gremory, name of Chadich, Queen Gremory of the Intrus Estate. That certainly surprised everyone, but especially those at the inn in the Intrus Estate, but a dwarf had an evil smile. At the inn. Sama. By the saint of Papaya, without believing it. Angela. Neither do I, Ria's Gremory, what are you up to? Outside the dome. Akeno. Seeing that they were both seeing each other, it's just your plan for this, Ria's. Flashback. Ria's. Looking at her scanner, okay, I'm ready, sends a battle request. Akeno. Ria's, are you sure about this? Ria's. Hi, it's time to at least start remembering, and what better than a battle? Akeno. But if it doesn't work, what will you do? Ria's. Well, I have a plan for that in case you don't remember me. Akeno. But seriously, you will do it, but you know that you are. Rias. I know, but this is the only way, and that way we can keep that promise. The Keno. Rias sees that Issei accepted. Well, I have to go, bye, leaves. End of flashback. The Keno. I hope this works. In the dome. Referee. Well, before doing so they want to place their bets. Issei. Sees Rias. Tell me what you want in return, Rias. Rias. Well, Issei, if you think it's about cards, no, but something for the two of us. Issei. And what is it? Rias. Well, plus hopefully this works. If one of us loses, the winner will do whatever he wants to the one who loses. That surprised Hyoudou and the spectators, but. Angela. Tears up her magazine upon hearing that. What? Astonished. Sama. Surprised, not knowing that his pan caught fire from the surprise. Outside the dome. The Keno's companions. With mouths open. The Keno. I already knew what Rias would bet. On the farm. Worry. Seeing that but smiles evilly. Ha, looks like Rias-chan came up with a good plan. Marie-sama. Worry. If Hyoudou loses, we can do anything until we make the inn look ridiculous for having humiliated us in the previous fight. But it was this dwarf who did it after betting half of our money as a bet, annoyed. Worry. So let's hope he loses, haha, because I have good plans for him, smiles evilly while rubbing her hands. In the dome. Issei. What, not believing it? Referee. Okay, players, select your battle teams. When he said that, everyone's virtual screens popped up. Issei. Seeing Issei selecting, this is serious since I've seen their battles many times, and their best cards are superior and inferior, but what if I do the same game, starts to select his team. Rias. Notes to Issei, I see Issei already knows which one to choose, I hope this can work. Issei. I'll put 3 of my superiors, although of course I'll put Tangath and also 3 inferiors, and I know which ones, putting the inferiors, and I think I'll put some of the inferior mujiks that I win when I buy the card pack, hopefully that works for me. While they continued selecting their cards. At the inn. Boom. Angela. Sees Saji arrive breathing heavily. Saji. I saw what's happening in the dome, watches TV, it's incredible that Rias-senpai challenged him and made that bet. I hope Issei wins or else we're finished. Sama. Haha, because if he loses he will be the slave of the farm and surely Marie will take advantage to make us look ridiculous and they will enjoy our shame. Outside the dome. The Keno. Seeing them preparing their decks. 1. I'm actually curious about who will face Rias. 2. And what about? 1. Which deck will you choose this time? The Keno. Well, Wolf told me that he and some others went to Chaotic Plaza for the rookies. 2. So they went to the plaza, maybe they got new mallets. 3. You have to find out. In the dome. Referee. Very well, players, close your decks. Both. Close and show their decks. Issei's deck. Rias' deck. Issei. Has so superiors and inferiors, but I'm surprised he has Navina. I don't want to imagine Emi's expression if she knows Rias has her. Rias. I see that you copy my deck, that is, the same idea. Issei. Yes, I saw your previous battles, and I saw that you mostly use 2 enemy tribes together, and I thought about following your same game, but I didn't expect you to have Navina, and that my sister has her sister. Rias. Hi, smiles. At the inn. Saji. Now it will be a battle of each one with superiors and inferiors, and more than what Issei got yesterday. Angela. But they think I would be at her level since I'm one of the strongest on the farm, worried. I know I will win. Everyone. Seeing Goho enter. Goho. If I know the hiatus in their youth as chaotic players, I know they will make it. Anagella. I hope luck, Issei. In the dome. Referee Lord Krisman Dragon as one of his companions Artemist defeated Terra Queen of the Intrus Estate, you will be the attacker. Issei. For my own good, spins the wheel. Referee. The first battle will be the Glacier Plains. Issei. Very well, the first thing is to defeat the easiest ones and know who to use. Scythia attacks Quater, touches the card to transform looking at his hands. Rias. Touches the card to transform into the fairy, first time being a woman. Scythia. Yes, but it doesn't matter since everyone transforms into different genders, but I'm ready. Quater. Then let's enter chaotic, they enter the battle. In the battle. Quander is seen flying in the snowy lands, but she is pushed by the strong current of the place. Quater. Recomposes himself. Rias. Great, it's a bit complicated for me with the icy wind here, but where could it be? Playmorb. Quander. Turns around but received a fire attack and fell to the ground. Scythia. Appears, you're too hot, mockingly. Quander. Shakes his head, very funny, but I'm just warming up. Scythia. I'd better help you, throwing fireballs. The fairy begins to fly, dodging the fireballs. Quander. Wind slash, throwing a strong current of air. Scythia. is pushed but recovers. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry you lost Inferno Ghost, throwing an intense flare. Both were gaining pressure, but Scythia's flames won and were heading towards Quander. Quander. Receives the attack and explodes into codes. End of the battle. The audience was surprised to see that. At the inn. Saji. I don't believe it. Sauma. Issei defeated the first battle against Rias. Pinch me. Angela sees that Itadori, Megumi and Nobara have returned. Nobara. Wow, how he defeated Rias, surprised. Megumi. It was certainly easy, especially against Quander. Oh ho. Haha, let's see what awaits Issei. In the dome. Scythia. Returns and seeing Rias, well Rias, that was too much, turns back to Issei, heat up the atmosphere. Rias. Well that was good, but it was very easy for you wasn't it? Issei. Well yes, very easy for some reason that seems familiar to me, thinking that he saw that somewhere. Referee. Gremory Queen select the battle location. Rias. Spins the wheel. Referee. The next battle will be Las Riveras. Rias, good Mesmer attacks Rother, touches his card and it becomes. Issei. Touches his and turns into the Minotaur, BRRR. In the battle. Rother is seen standing on a rock and seeing every part of the water. Issei, I must not lose focus, and more so I am at the advantage of the enemy, which is a creature that knows how to attack with water and is a fish. Rother. Moves his ears, it's close I can hear. Spirit Ghost. Rother. Receives an attack that looked like a torrent of spirits that sent him near a rock, ugh. Mesmer. Exits, hehehe, you didn't expect that or did you? Rother. Gets up, I see you're getting revenge for the first battle, no fish, but think fast. Power Pulse, throwing pulse punches. Mesmer decides to dive to avoid Rother's attacks. Rother. Wow, good thing I'm ready for this, I had a liquidlizer. Narrator. He shoots the lake that was slowly freezing. At the inn. Nobara. Because the lake is freezing, curious. Megumi. It seems that he is trying to get Mesmer to come out, as you know that place gives an advantage to creatures that know water attacks and those that are marine. Itadori. So he thinks Mesmer will come out. Saji. Watching the fight, I hope he wins. In the battle. He kept freezing until he saw Mesmer come out. Rother. Haha, you have it, points his liquidlizer. But Mesmer unleashed a torrent of water that pushed Rother away. Rother. That attack was strong. Mesmer. 8 lands, maybe because of this, showing a bracelet with a blue gem. Rother. So you equipped a torrent Crinth. Mesmer. If you surely know that bracelet-type battlegears give more energy to creatures that know the elements of their gems, and in this case, it gives me power in my water attacks. Rother. Yes, but you won't be saved by Pebblestorm, launching the attack. Mesmer. Hydro Balls, throwing water balls. Both attacks collided and destroyed each other. Rother. Rock Wave, hits the ground and generates stone stakes. Mesmer. I8 received one and at the same time sent it up. Rother. Prepares to attack her. Mesmered. Sludge Gush, throws mud in Rother's eyes. Rother. GRR, tries to remove the mud. Mesmer. Rain Spears, throwing water spears like rain. Rother. Removes the mud, hey, sees the rain trying to run, he received some until they exploded into codes. End of the battle. At the inn. Everyone. Surprised. Itadori. Issei can't be defeated with that technique, well he sent him flying with that attack, surprised. Oh ho. An important rule in battles is that when you are in a situation like this, it gives you good strategies and advantages to attack by surprise. Nobara. I can see that since Rias launched a sludge gush at Issei's eyes to distract him and finished him off with a rain spears, but he must have been very strong with that battle gear. Angela. But they are Titan creatures, but this will not end until one of the two falls in battle. Saji. I just hope Issei wins, notices that Soma is cooking something quickly, Soma what's wrong? Soma. Because of this pressure, it would be the fight of the century for me, and because of that, I prepared this quickly, while doing it faster. All. A few drops come out. In the dome. Issei. Returns and sees Mesmer, wow, I didn't expect you to do that strategy Rias. Mesmer hahaha well Issei never expects it, he becomes Rias again, unexpected. Issei. I was surprised that you would do that, maybe I'll try it in a battle, but maybe we're tied, but looks at the board, maybe we're tied in creatures, but one of us is going to fall, and I won't let myself be defeated. Rias. Well, me neither, since I'll prove that the great Rias Gremory can win, smiles. Issei. Surprising, but that feels familiar, I feel something familiar about that again, especially since I'm with Rias. Rias. Very well Issei. Issei. Hi. Both. Let's enter chaotic, excited and determined. Chapter Issei vs Rias Part 2. Previously in Chaotic DxD, Issei was challenged to a surprise battle that would be 6 vs 6, but it was a surprise since the one who challenged him, however, the first battle was won by Issei, although in the second battle, Riaz won with a good strategy from Mesmer, leaving both of them tied but both. Let's enter Chaotic. One of the two will win and win the bet, however, revelations from Issei's past will also occur. Then. What happened? I heard that to see Emi. Angela. Emi. I found out what's going on and more, the bet they both made, watching the screen. Sama. I know, can you believe that? Now Issei is fighting as Blazer and Riaz as Luma in the Forest of Life. Emi. Brother. In the battle. Ow. That was hard to see that it was Blazer who fell. Blazer. Ouch, that hurt me, shakes his head. True. Blazer. Sees Llama grr Pebblestorm, launching the attack. Llama. Covers himself with his shield, that's all. Blazer. Grrr, growling. Issei. I never stood a chance against her, wait, maybe that will work. Llama. Hydro balls, throwing water balls. But Blazer jumps to do acrobatic tricks on the branches to avoid the water balls. Blazer. Jijiji, let's go to be on top. Llama. Sees that. Blazer. Rockwave, hits the ground. Luma was taken by surprise as Blazer fell almost close to her, causing her to take the attack hard. Blazer. Vinesner, catching her with vines. Llama. But Blazer slammed her to the ground but very hard. Llama. Tries to get up, grrr. Blazer. You better get this iron ball, shooting iron balls from his eyes. Llama. AI8 receives them to exploit in codes. End of the battle. Riaz. Comes back, ouch, I felt that, rubs her back. Blaze. Haha, well maybe the little one, detransforms, beat the big one. Riaz. Haha, good joke, although you know, I never expected you to use Rockwave and Vinesner like that, but the truth is, I always thought you'd use that on Blazer, since it's your favorite and you're agile, smiles. Issei. Hey, something enters his head. Flashback. Girl. Because Blazer is your favorite if he is not very strong. Issei. Because Blazer is agile and fast, so that's why I admire him, one of the. Girl. I see, if that's true I respect it, smiles. End of flashback. Issei. That again, maybe it's possible, but I don't know if this is a coincidence, but maybe in the next battles, I'll be able to discover everything. Outside the dome. 1. Seriously, is this Ria's plan? Bekeno. Hi, what do you think of that boy? 2. And what would it be? Bekeno. Better yet, it's not the time because you'll see it on the screen. Riaz. Well Issei, I hope you have energy for the next battles. Issei. We'll see. Both. Look at each other. Riaz. Mesmer attacks Scythia and Avering. In the battle. Scythia. Aa, throwing flames at Mesmer. Mesmer. Dives. Scythia. Lavalanche, launching the lava attack in the water. Mesmer. Tries to avoid it, Aa, receives it and explodes into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Blazer attacks Lista in the underworld city. In the battle. Blazer. Aa, being pushed away by a wind slash from Lista. List. Aa, shooting a pebble storm. Blazer. Woog, or receives and explodes into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Sees Lista. Lissa. Smiles. Issei. Another memory comes to him. Flashback. Issei. How? Girl. Heh, simple, Lista is the best warrior skilled with air and land, so I won, sticks out her tongue. End of flashback. Issei. I'm almost there. On the farm. Worry. Another victory for Riaz. Ram. But Hyoudou beats him by 2 wins. Worry. I know, Baka, comically annoyed. In the dome. Riaz. Atrapal attacks Uspedian and Las Riveras. In the battle. Uspedian. Runs quickly while dodging Atrapal's attacks, hahaha, do you really think that would stop me? Atrapal. You may be fast, but how about this Rostoxic, shoots and freezes Uspedian in rust. Uspedian. Ah. Issei. Shit, I got careless. Atrapal. Rockwave, doing the attack. Uspedian. Tries to move but rocks fall on him to explode in codes. End of the battle. Issei. 8 returns, but another one arrives. Flashback. Issei. It's impossible for a fast creature like Uspedian to freeze him with his speed. Girl. I think the only way would be Rostoxic. Issei. Ah yes, we'll see when I see that. End of flashback. Issei. I'm close. At the inn. Itadori. Wow, someone was able to stop Uspedian with Rustic, surprised. Labara. I never thought I'd see that while eating a plate of sushi. Megumi. Watches the battle but gets serious. Vitsuda. What's up, friend? Megumi. There seems to be something strange about this. Wodahama. What do you mean? Curious. Megumi. I see that Issei has another intention while fighting. Emi? Now that you think about it, this is similar to something that he told me when I was a child. Labara. What happened? Emi? Well, he had a friend who is also a chaotic fan and they always played cards, they even pretended to be the creatures, but this I feel like this is what he experienced. Haruko. But I feel like Ria-senpai has something, or so you think. Emi? I'm not sure. In the dome. Issei. Okay, I must continue with this and maybe find out the truth. Rias. Notes to Issei, being like this after many battles, could it be? Rias. Looks at her scanner to see a call from Akeno. You've already had a few battles you've already achieved. Rias. Not yet, but with each battle I see that he becomes more serious and it seems that in the battles he looks for an answer. Akeno. Maybe she's looking for strategies with your creatures against you, but the girls next to me seem to be paying attention to the battles, but I fear that it's possible that Marie believes it's a plan to humiliate Issei. Rias. That dwarf, annoyed, I will finish the battle if my plan doesn't work, maybe the bet will work. Akeno. But Rias, but she hangs up. Issei. I'm done with your talk. Rias. Hi, well, let's continue. Issei. Serious, I have to pair up a bit, I already lost Rother, Blazer and Gaspedian, and I feel like every time I make a strategy or after the battle, I get memories of my childhood, and that girl who looks like Ria's, I have to confirm it, spins the wheel. Referee. The next battle will be the skeleton spring. Issei. Grook attacks Atripel, touches his card to transform, grrr. Rias. Touches hers and transforms, another little one I'm going to crush. Grook. We'll see, big guy, let's go to chaotic, they are transported. In the battle. Atripel. Destroys some bones as he moves forward, sniff ugh, covers his nose, how horrible, it smells worse in here than Elena's dirty clothes or Akeno's dirty underwear, he said without knowing that everyone heard him. Outside. Akeno. Ria is red and annoyed. In the battle. Rias. I don't know if I can handle this, but I have to be careful with. It didn't end as something round rolled to tackle Atripel and see that it was Grook. Atripel sees it. Grook. Well, let's see if you can resist my lashes with my whip crack, a whip that had spikes appearing. Atripel. You better feel this one, throwing rocks at Grook. Niripur. Grook used his whips to destroy the rocks, while flames emanated from it as he advanced. Atripel. Pebblestorm, throwing rocks. Grook. Lavalanche, throwing lava. When both attacks collided, Grook's won, causing him to retreat. Atripel. Tries to move forward but gets hit by Grook. He kept whipping him back, but without Atripel realizing it, he was leading him to a lake of acid. Outside. Haruko. Oh look, he's pushing Atripel back. Megumi. And I see you're taking him to the spring well. Labara. That's going to push her there, excited. Itadori. Perfect. Emi. Brother. On the farm. Marie. Come on Rias, don't let yourself fall, somewhat desperate. Ram. Watching the fight. In the fight. Atripel kept retreating while receiving the lashes, not knowing that she was reaching the edge of the spring. Issei. Perfect, a few more and it's code. When he was about to whip him, Atripel stopped him. Brook. Seeing that equals. Atripel. Don't believe what your plan was, goodbye. With a flick of the whip he threw it up to make it fall into the spring, worrying his sister and making Marie smile, but. Brook. Song of Reversal, performing music. When he did it, lightning struck both of them, and to their surprise, Grook was where Atripel was, and the aforementioned was in Grook's place, that is, during the fall. Atripel. AI-8 falling into the spring and exploding into codes. End of the battle. Outside. All. 8 surprised equals. 3. I defeat Ria-sama with that music. 2. Hi, I never thought I would see someone use it to attack her. 1. I never thought I'd see a song reversal used like this. 4. I agree. Akeno. Issei Hyoudou, you are a good strategist. In the dome. Rias. Turns back and sees Grook, how did you do that? Grook. Yeah, let's just say that transforms. I had that music saved for a long time and I wanted to try it in a battle, but I couldn't use it and I took advantage of how it was falling. Rias. Well, you really surprised me, Issei, but that was cheating, pouts. Issei. A memory comes to him. Flashback. Girl. It's not fair, you used that music, that's cheating, pouts. Issei. Sorry, but I don't think so, since the song of reversal works to exchange the place where you were and change it to where the enemy is and vice versa, so I won. Girl. Still with the pout. End of flashback. Issei. Another memory, and there are few left since after that he moved. I'm about to arrive. Ria's Rista attacks Grook on Mount Pillar. In the battle. Rista is seen trying to attack Grook but sees that he was rolling on every part and not hitting him. Rista. Throws a lavalanche. She threw it at a structure. Everyone thought she did something wrong, but then Grook was rolling where she launched the attack, causing it to begin to fall. Grook falls into the void until exploding into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Scythia attacks Lista in the lava lake. In the battle. You can see both of them fighting, and it seems like they were trying to force one of them to back down. Lista pushing Scythia. Scythia crashes against a rock. KGA feels something hot on the rock, perhaps perfect diuresis, smiles. Lista launching a rock attack. Scythia jumps and stands on the rock. Lista, I don't think you can keep avoiding my attacks. Scythia, I don't think you have any sunscreen or lava. Lista, not understanding. Scythia avalanche hits the rock. Crack. Lista sees it cracking and steam coming out. Oh. Ria's mommy. Narrated. He sees that the rock has opened up, but with a jet of lava from l'avalanche. Lista tries to escape. He receives it and explodes into codes. End of the battle. At the inn. Everyone surprised. Haruko. How? Itadori. Lava came out of that rock. Nobara. But you can always do that as if it were a rock wave. Megumi. In fact, that can be done in the lava lake, and I think he felt a lot of heat in that rock, and maybe he discovered that there was lava below it or inside it, and that's why he got that result. Emi. My brother is a good strategist. It's a shame those idiots Max and Issei only stole to earn credit. In the dome. Rias returns. You really are full of surprises, seeing the newly transformed chestnut. Issei. It's part of my gift, but what will you do? You have one creature left in me too. Rias. We'll see. Issei will see, spins the wheel. Referee. The next battle will be Bodhran Castle. Issei. That castle. Albiter. Let Grimoires choose his last creature. Rias. Nevena attacks Scythia, touches her card and transforms into her creature. Issei. Does the same and enters the battle. In the battle. Scythia. Going up the stairs, looking all around. Issei. Great, and I thought Mount Pilar was complicated, but this castle makes it worse, and I lost a few battles here. Outside. Angela. Oh god, the place where Issei waters it. Itadori. Not many are good at fighting in the castle. Emi. Now my brother is in a little trouble. Mitsuda. I hope he wins. In the battle. Scythia. Looks everywhere, wherever I can. Here. She received a back blow causing her to fall down the stairs to see Nevena. Nevena. Haha, I surprised you because I'm warming up. A flame appears in her hand. Scythia. Well, I'm ready, stands up. Nevena. Inferno Ghost, launching a fire attack. Scythia takes cover as she slowly advances. Nevena. I see you need something else. Cannon of Casualty, activating the music. When I activated it, a fiery light was released that hit Scythia. Scythia. Tries to resist but explodes into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Returns. Damn, you defeated me like that, sees that Rias became human again. Rias. Haha, but if you're still resisting an attack like that, but you must have strategies if I want to be a chaotic player. Issei. Yeah, wait, I remember saying that to A. Flashback. You can see Issei and the girl, but they look sad. Issei. You have to go, sad. Girl. Hi, we'll move to Kyoto, but I don't want to leave. I like being with you and playing chaotic, but I don't know if I'll win. Issei. Hey, I can win. I'll tell you something about how you can win. Girl. How? Curious as she wiped away the tears that were about to come out. Issei. You must plan your strategies, attacks, battle gears and musics, and also choose the best creatures from your deck to do it. Girl surprised, do you really think that's how I'll win the games? Issei. Hi, and maybe if we meet we'll play and we'll know who will win. Girl. Hey, but also promise me something. Issei. And what is it? Girl. When we grow up I'll be your wife. Issei blushes, seriously. Girl. Hi, is a promise. Issei, well if that's what you say and I'm a man and I must fulfill it. Girl. Ha, so I'll wait for your return, Issei. Issei. Me too with you. Rias smiles. End of flashback. Issei. Rias, surprised. Rias. What pa? Issei. I remember everything now and especially you, the girl who is my childhood friend. Rias Grimoire. This news surprised everyone and they just screamed. All. What? Bekeno. So that worked. On the farm. Worry. Like that Hyoudou is a childhood friend of one of my girls, astonished. Bram. Wow, that's unexpected and even more so since he's the boy she told me about and turned out to be Emi's brother. At the inn. Angela, with her jaw on the floor. Itadori. Did he say they were friends, not believing it? Oh ho. Comes out of nowhere with Serafal, what a surprise, eating sweets. Serafal. You knew about this, Emi. Emi. Clicks, damn, how did I not realize Ria's was her childhood friend? I think what we went through in Kuo made us forget about our happy childhood. Haruko. Wow, but I suspect Ria's senpai planned this. Emi. What are you saying? Haruko. When you fight in battles sometimes you can access your creature's memories and knowledge. I think that when fighting with Ria's so many battles I think that Issei got lost memories from his childhood. Angela. And then why did you want to place that bet, and white and jealous? Nabara. I think in case his plan didn't work though I think he didn't think much about it. Megumi. Especially since they heard the bet and Marie wants to have Issei as a slave. Itadori. I hope I can win since there is one creature left each, but I hope I win. Angela. Come on Issei wins. In the dome. Rias. Yes you remember me Issei, surprised but happy. Issei. Yes and may I know why you challenged me and I must say that was clever and surprising. Rias. I learned from the best, smiles. Issei. You know I would like to at least end the battle, but we only have one creature left, so I want to end the battle. Rias. Me too, smiles. Referee. Lord Crisman Dragon selects the battle location. Issei. Spins the roulette. Albitro. The last battle would be Kiru City. Issei. Perfect. Referee. Lord Crisman Dragon select your last attacking creature. Issei. It's time Tangath Tobern attacks Navenna, touches the letter and transforms, Grai wait roar. Rias. Touches hers and transforms, hahaha ready kitty. Tangath. Just say it. Both. Let's enter chaotic, enter the battle. In the battle. Navenna. Walks in being in the city's trading place, come on kitty kitty don't hide. Tangath. Arrives, I'm not hiding. Navenna. Turns around, power pulse, throwing pulses. Tangath summoned his sword and repelled them. Tangath. Meeg roar, letting out a mega roar. Navenna was pushed and destroyed some stalls until she crashed into a wall. Tangath. I hope you can still hear me, since you have elf-like ears, I wouldn't want you to go deaf. Navenna. TCH very funny time for my ace up my sleeve. Tangath. I want to see what you'll do. Navenna. Son of Fury. Tangath. What, surprised? All. What, surprised? Well Ria's board is seen to have activated music. Navenna. A light hits her, grrr, writhes on the floor. Issei. Oh, I'm not lost, nervous. Naven. Grrr, raises her head showing a savage expression and murderous intentions. Outside. 1. Now that boy is in trouble with the Song of Fury. 3. F will now have to endure Marie's whining when he is a slave. Bekeno. This battle is close. At the inn. Sarala. Take off your slippers. Issei is lost, scared. Emi. I can't believe she has that music. Itadori. And one of the most difficult to face. Saji. Issei you're in trouble now. On the farm. Marie. Ha now Hyoudou is lost nothing can beat Ria's Song of Fury ha. Ram good luck boy diaresis. In the battle. Navenna. Grrr, throwing fire attacks but they were big and strong. Tangath ran away on all fours while avoiding the fire attacks and at the same time the destructive attacks of Navenna. Issei. What am I going to do at this rate? I'll lose weight, see the castle, I already know how I'll do it. Tangath started to go to the castle but received a fire attack on his back. Tangath. Grrr, sees Navenna approaching while launching attacks, TCH, enters the castle. Navenna. Grrr, the castle arrives to destroy the door, grrr, looking everywhere. She searched everywhere while destroying everything in her path. Navenna. Where are you furball, kicks a door to see it was an empty room with a balcony, where, but here's a music, that's it. Pipper slash. She is attacked by some snakes that knock her to the ground. Navenna. Grrr, sees Tangath, I imagine that was a healing music. Tangath. Yes, I wanted to recover, but I'm already ready. Navenna. Well, emanates more aura of anger, feel my fury. She launched herself at Tanix, but he dodged them while trying to attack her with his sword, but she managed to remove his sword. Navenna. Throwing flames. Tangath. Sent to the balcony, grrr. Navenna. Last words, kitty. Tangath. This rockwave hits the ground. He sees that the balcony began to crack as they left the attack and it seemed like it was going to collapse. Navenna. I have to. It didn't end as Tangath used Vinesnir on Navenna's legs to make them both fall. Navenna. What are you doing? We'll both become codes. Tangath. Not me, but you do meager roar, giving a loud roar that sends her against a structure with a floor, waters that rain down on you, goes swinging with Vinesnir. Navenna. What opens her eyes to see that the rubble is about to fall on her, nuo, it falls on her and explodes into codes. End of the battle. Referee. The winner of the battle is Lord Crisman Dragon. At that, everyone was in shock, especially the Finka, since one of the strongest students and players was defeated by a first year, and the one who defeated Conlam and Itras, who in the inn were shouting in celebration at that. On the farm. Mary. AI another humiliating defeat, annoyed and screaming while grabbing her hair in a childish manner. Ram the inn surprises me more and more. In the dome. Riaz sees I'm back as Tangath, wow that surprised me. Tangath. As I told you as a child, you must plan, become Issei again, good strategies if you want to win, although I think I would have been lost when you activated the Song of Fury, sighs in relief. Riaz. Hi well Issei since you won well you have to ask for something, so that I can give it to you, since what do you choose? Issei. Well I had something in mind, but due to the circumstances do you think it's better that next weekend we can go out to the city or to Chaotic Plaza? Everyone who was still watching was left with their mouths open, but Angela well, she broke into pieces when she heard that. Emi? Wow they already told me about the promise they made well it's a start. Angela. Issei la la, all broken. In the dome. Riaz are you? Issei. Well now that I recovered my lost memories of my childhood I thought that maybe walking together and spending time together would revive the time lost after that day, does that seem okay to you? Riaz. Surprised and blushing, ha ha, I accept, smiles. Issei. Well see you Riaz. He left the dome before the eyes of Akeno and the girls, and then the redeed came out. 1. Riaz seriously what she said is true. Riaz. Hi everything you heard. 2. Wow but you know the problems you'll have with the current boss. 3. But Kateria-sensei will surely support you until the true one returns. 4. I agree. Riaz. Thanks girls. Akeno. So Riaz did your plan work tell me was it worth it? Riaz I would say it was worth every battle, looks at the sky, it was truly worth it, smiles while a shooting star appeared in the sky. That same day, unexpected revelations happened, but also a reunion of two childhood friends who fought to find out who would win, and also a beautiful result, without knowing that something related to her, he will fight against the boy Hyoudou for her. Chapter Superior vs Inferior, Battles of Enemy Tribes. Chaotic Academy one day after the Issei vs Riaz fight. In the academy cafeteria, Issei and Saji could be seen discussing a specific topic common to them. Issei. Please Saji you must understand that the superiors beat the inferiors. Saji. Please friend, you know that the inferiors are the ones who command. And was seen by Emi, Angela and Haruko. Haruko. Seriously, they are like that? Emi. I think so before she graduated from high school. Angela. Well, the truth is I've never seen people discuss it, I think it's common, he laughs with amusement. But what they didn't know is that someone at a table was watching him. Issei. Come on, do you think the creatures I have are useless against inferiors? Saji. Speak for yourself, you used inferiors in your battle yesterday against Riaz. Issei. Well yes, but it's better not to have these discussions, since it's possible that you'll have to use combined decks, but especially those that are adapted. Saji. Well, that's true, my friend, but for me the inferiors will be the best. Issei. Hey Saji, but he sees that behind him a blonde guy with glasses was approaching, and curiously he was dressed elegantly, Saji. Saji. What's up buddy? Are you nervous that? You know I would like to see that from you. He turned around to see the blonde-haired boy. It would be interesting to see how you use the inferiors, let's see if you're as good as Joestar. Saji. Heh, well it sounds like a battle challenge so I accept. Well, I'll wait for you at the Krellan Dome by the way tell me your name, boy. Saji. I'm Saji Jeshiru, a first year, but my chaotic code is Vitra, I'll smile proudly. Haruko. That guy sounds familiar. I'm Arthur Pendragon from third year. Haruko. Wait for the S. Arthur. But they know me as Pendragon. When he said it, everyone was surprised, even the robots who looked surprised, but Saji was blank. Issei. Not understanding like Emi. Saji. You are the great Pendragon, terrified. Arthur, yes, and since this is my last year I'd like to see how you fight I'll see you at the dome, leaves. Everyone watched as the blonde man left. Issei. Well Saji, you already have a battle, let's see what you're made of. Saji didn't respond. Issei. Saji sees that he didn't respond, hear these, touches his shoulder and sees that he fell to the ground unconscious. Haruko. A doctor, taking it. Emi. What is happening? Angela. Well my friend this is going to be interesting, while drinking a milkshake. Address. Ajuka. Like Arthur challenged one of your students. Oh ho. Well that's what everyone is saying here. Enemu. You know, I don't remember when was the last time Arthur had a superior versus inferior battle, but he challenged him, curious. Oh ho. How about when he challenged Aaron Joestar last year? Enemu. It's true and where is Serafal? Oh ho. He went with Sora since he promised to have a date at Chaotic Plaza. Enemu. Well, that doesn't surprise me, but how do you think the duel with student Saji will be now? Oh ho. We'll see about that. Bullied Dome is seen both players selecting their deck, although in Saji's case he was scared and depressed. Saji. Because of all people I had to get him. While in the cafeteria, Issei, Emi, Haruko and Angela are watching the screen. Haruko. This is very bad, worried. Angela. I didn't expect him to challenge me. But he would challenge whoever. Narrate. See that Wolf arrived with Siko but also Itadori. Itadori. That we missed. Issei. Pointing at the screen. Wolf. Sees Arthur on the screen, hehehe so Pendragon well let's see who will get the code kicked. Haruko. To my boyfriend. Siko. To Saji, impressed. Itadori. Alto Saji challenges the great Pendragon, impressed. Emi. The challenge to Saji was reversed and he accepted but regretted it in the end. Wolf. Of course, Arthur is well known for facing inferiors and defeating them since he knows how to use his superior deck well. Itadori. Yes, I heard that. Siko. Although he only had one battle that was evenly matched. Emi. With whom? Wolf. Garlic. Issei Ajo faced him, surprised. Wolf. Yeah well, looks at the screen, we'll see if Saji can beat him. Shiru. At another table next to them with Nobara, Silica and Mitsuda, well, let's see how it ends. Mitsuda. Let's pray for our comrade in the Sunday battle while having a glass of juice. Issei. Plus good luck friend. On the farm. Rias. Watching the battle on the TV in her room with Akeno, this is serious. Akeno. Ara Pendragon I challenge Jeshiru I hope I can beat him. Rias. Well, let's see what happens. Wari's room. Wari. Now those useless against Pendragon tch I don't know why they have interest in him. Ram. It must be because he fought against Joestar last year. Wari. Tch whatever I wish he feels humiliated and that's it. Council chamber. Maki. What a battle awaits Jeshiru. Inumaki. Well, this will be a drag, I say. Maki. Yes, I hope you pay attention before I take you to the inn, she said, seeing a hairy girl with purple eyes next to her and they look nervous while watching the screen. In the dome. Referee. Okay, gentlemen, close your decks. Both. Close and show their decks. Saji's deck. Arthur's mallet. Referee. Very interesting gentlemen, a battle of superior versus inferior and we will see it here. Saji. Prepared. Referee. Pendragon, since you challenged Vitra to a battle, will be the attacker. Arthur. Gladly, spins the wheel. Referee. The next battle will be a varying. Arthur. Okay, let's start with Stalik attacking Zor, touches his card to transform into the centaur, brrr. Saji. Touches his tail to transform whipping his tail on the ground, let's go in. Referee. And so the first chaotic battle, superior versus inferior, let the battle begin. When he said that the chaotic battle had already begun. In the battle. In the forest that never stopped raining, Zor was walking while receiving the raindrops. Saji. By the codemasters I'm dead and more than the one I fought is one of the strongest moments Saji you can do it if Issei could defeat a hero and someone from the estate which was Ria's Gremory, then I can do it. But before he could answer, he jumped to avoid an attack of rocks and saw that it was Stalik running. Stalik. Not bad, but take this, throwing a pebble storm. Zor only used his tail to destroy the rocks. Zor. Mega Roar, generating the roar wave. Stalik. Covers himself with his arms which makes him drag a little, haha good try. Zor. I'm still starting Rockwave, hitting the ground with his tail. Stalik. HHH, runs away but received some of the rocks. In the cafeteria. Wolf. Well that was a small start I would say. Haruko. Well, let's see how it goes for Saji. Angela. But look. In the battle. Stalik. Shakes himself, not bad, but it won't be enough. Esner catches him with the vines. Zor. Tries to free himself, sees Stalik approaching. On the farm. Worry. At least I'll enjoy a pleasurable defeat for myself, smiles arrogantly. Ram. Watching the battle attentively. In the cafeteria. Haruko. Worried. Emi. Poor Saji. Issei. Watching carefully, come on friend, supporting his friend. In the battle. Saji. If I don't do anything, wait I have the letter I scanned in the plaza, smiles. Stalik. Here. Zor. Gravity slam, whips his tail on the ground. And in less than a second Stalik was on the ground but also creating a crater and couldn't move. Stalik. Grrr, tries to get up but can't. Zor. Manages to break the vines, hahaha incredible that it worked, but I must say that it ended iron balls, throwing the steel balls from his mouth. Stalik. Tries to get up but receives them until they explode into codes. End of the battle. Everyone. Surprised. Student. Pendragon was defeated. Student. And in the first fight, and usually it is the one who wins the first. Everyone was commenting on that, but at the farm. Worry. Ah, in disbelief. Ram. The inn has interesting people, impressed. In the direction. All. 8 surprised. Oh-ho. Wow, he lost the first fight, impressed. Enemu. Wow, surprised. Julio. MMMM. In the dome. Zor. Returns to Arthur, haha, well it was something, returns to being Saji, crushing. Arthur. I'm really impressed since you defeated me in the first battle, congratulations, but this is just the beginning. Saji. Well, here we go, spins the wheel. Referee. The next battle will be Underworld City. Saji. Very well, I defeated the strong one, but I have to take out the most agile and strong one to get to Farfdo. Rother attacks Blugan, touches the card and transforms. Arthur. Touches the card and transforms into the blue Aper Yeti, let's enter chaotic, they enter the battle. In the dark city, Blugan is seen jumping and climbing on any building to see everywhere. Blugan. Trying to hear it. He couldn't find Rother until he was hit by a fireball, causing him to fall to the street. Blugan. Gets up to see that Rother has fallen. Rother. Blugan. Hailstorm, throwing a stream of snow. Rother. Torrent of flame, throwing a blast of flame. Both attacks collided to generate an explosion and a smoke screen. Rother. Trying to find it. Saji. Thinks to confuse me with the smoke, but he doesn't know that he has good hearing and that I also carry a Berthian axe, he thought while summoning a large heavy axe. In the cafeteria. Itadori. They think he'll win this fight, curious and eating potatoes. Baruko. Well, I believe in Saji, but I don't think an axe can beat a Yeti. Emi. We'll see what happens. Wolf. Well, let's see what idea, watching carefully. In the battle. Rother was searching or preparing to attack until with his axe, he split a ball of ice and did it again with balls of ice that came out of the smoke. Rother. Grrrai. He makes a spinning motion with the axe, causing the smoke to dissipate or clear, but he sees that there was nothing, what the hell, not understanding. But I hear something that jumped to see Blugan. Rother. Now if you. Blugan. Let's see what you think about Cascade Symphony, he said to activate the music. When that happened, a blue light hit Rother, causing him to fall to the ground and lose his battle gear. Rother. Stands. Blugan. Hehehe, it seems like I won this round, smiles. Rother. I wouldn't count on Embersworm, throwing the burning embers. The Yeti tried to take them off until they froze. Blulog. Do you think that would beat me? No, but if you are disappointed. Blulog. Hey, turns around but receives a strong flare that explodes into codes. End of the battle. Everyone was now astonished at what they saw, since now Saji defeated Arthur for the second time. Angela, good heavens, impressed. Wolf. Wow. Siko. Wow, that's incredible, but now it's the hardest part. Emi. Because, curious. Itadori. From what I heard, no one has been able to defeat your Frafdo. Baruko. I've seen his battles and he's an expert at taming that eagle. Issei. Well, I hope Saji can handle that. In the dome. Arthur. Returns and sees Rother, wow, 2 consecutive victories, not bad, sees that he's back to being Saji. Saji. Well, you have to have a good strategy, I learned that from. Arthur. Not from Aaron Joestar, haha, no wonder you used that too. Saji. Also curious. Arthur. I'll tell you a secret that everyone who is now second and third year knows, but I'll tell you. Saji. And what will it be? Arthur. There was only one person who defeated me in a battle when I was in second year. Saji. And who? Arthur. Haha, Aaron Joestar. All the new second and third year students and first year students were shocked to hear that. On the farm. Worry. Witee. Stunned. Ran. They should have known. In the office. Oh ho. Well, I'll tell you the secret that was already forbidden. Enemu. I still remember that, haha. Julio. Well, let's see what happens. In the cafeteria. Emi. Stunned. Baruko. It can't be. Angela. He hit us there. Issei. He was able to defeat him. Pendragon. Wow. On the farm. Riaz. It seems everyone already knows the truth. Bekeno. Now, that will change everything. But somewhere else, someone was watching the fight and he was clutching a glass. That Joestar ruined my chance to be the first to defeat him. Damn the inn for daring to mess with a hero, annoyed. In the dome. Arthur. I must admit it, but you know you're good, but I want to see if you can get to Fredo, since many have gotten to where he is, but no one could accept him. Saji. Well, we'll see. Arthur. Smiles. Referee. Very well. Pendragon starts attacking. Arthur. Frafdo attacks Rother on the glacier plains. In the battle. Rother. Cutting some of Fredo's arrows. Frafdo. Hehe, you are good at cutting my arrows, but you can barely, he said while flying and shooting arrows. Rother. Cuts, but what about this flammabum, throwing a fireball? Crafto. Dodges, that's all you have. Rother. Who said it was for you? He didn't understand why, but he heard a noise that hit him a mountain and caused an avalanche. Rother. Haha, well that would be all, leaves. Fredo. Well yes, but don't you know that I have Songer reversal, activating the music. When Rother was summoned he was now in Frafto's place but falling to the ground. Rother. Kara 8 see the avalanche that tried to escape but it hit him and exploded the codes. End of the battle. Saji. 8 returns and seeing Frafto, damn I didn't know you were wearing that music. Frafto. Hehe you have to plan for the unexpected, he goes back to being Arthur, I learned that from Joestar. Saji. I already realized it, but I won't give up. Arthur. Well, let's begin. Saji. Zor attacks Frafto in the lava lake. In the battle. Zor shot lava from his mouth, but Fredo dodged it. Fredo. Zha readies an arrow and shoots. When he did it he hit the lava, but the funny thing was that it was charged and the result was that it generated a smoke screen. Saji. What are you doing because Wuo? He stopped thinking when he felt someone grab him by the tail and go up to show Frafto that he was flying while he grabbed him. Bradfo. I'd better take you to warm up. He began to spin Zor around until he released him and he fell into the lava, causing it to explode into codes. End of the battle. In the cafeteria. Baruko. Now they are tied, worried. Angela. Well, this has increased in intensity. Wolf. Well, I've never seen anything like that since Ajo defeated him and you know, I have a little hope that he will be the second to defeat him, although of course we will have hatred from them. Emi. Them. Curious. Siko. Talk about the hero faction. Issei. Remembering his first battle, you're talking about that group that belongs to Konla, the one I faced in the tests, curious. Wolf. Yes and you already know about them no. Issei. Saji told me about them but what's wrong with them? Wolf. The one who formed that little group had the intention of forming groups of players for his own benefit, but Arthur has been one of his targets and no one could defeat him, but now that he knows that one could and it wasn't one of his heroes, now we will be in his sights. Itadori. But don't you think it would increase since Issei defeated one of them in the test? Wolf. It's likely. Issei. Now it turns out I'm in the sights of a group besides the current matriarch of the Interest estate. In the dome. Saji. Sees Arthur, well that would tell a classic that. Arthur. Yes, many would say that, but it doesn't matter you only have one creature left. Saji. But one of the two will fall, and I will be the second player to defeat you. Arthur. Let's see what happens. Referee. Very well Pendragon select the last place. Arthur. Spins the wheel. Referee. The last battle will be the Forest of Life. Arthur. Well it's time for the end Frafto attacks Takenum, touches his card to transform, Jum. Saji. Touches his to transform into Takenum, this battle is decided, who of both tribes will win. Frafto. We'll see. Both. Let's enter chaotic, and both enter. In the battle. Takenum is seen flying above the forest trees and looking everywhere. Saji. It's my last battle, I have to. Takenum. I received something from the arm to see what it was Frafto. Frafto. You were looking for me, mockingly. Takenum. You wish, friend, but I'll play Cannon of Casualty seriously, activating the music. A yellow light fell from the sky and hit Frafto, sending him to the ground. Frafto. Tries to get up. Takenum. What are you saying now? Frafto. Miraculous song of rejuvenations. Takenum. Ah, stunned. While on the Arthur board I activate the music. In the cafeteria. Emi. Sees that Fredo's energy bar has recovered, he can't recover his entire energy bar, astonished. Wolf now Saji is lost. Siko. Hi. Baruko. Saji, worried. In the battle. Fredo throws himself at Takenum and she tries to attack him but receives blows from the falcon. Frafto. Take this lower power pulse, throwing energy fists. Takenum. Received them, falling to the ground, very weak tch. Saji. I'm weak, I have to I know. While on his board he activated his music and also on his board Rotha returned. In the cafeteria. Emi. Maybe I use Song of Revival, but. It didn't end there, as Rother's letter left and Takenum's energy returned. Issei. Of course he brought back one of his creatures, but he sacrificed it to have more energy. Wolf. He plans to finish the fight without retreating. Itadori. Well, we'll see what layers are. In the battle. Takenum. Stands up and shakes his head. Frafto. Jum I see you've already run out of musics since you used them twice with Takenum, although you have one left, but you won't be able to. Takenum. I'm not so sure if I have this, taking out a musician Lyron, I have this, touches it and on his board an extra music appears. Frafto. And what is it? Acronym. One to finish you off, Song of Fury. Crafto. Like, astonished like everyone else. And this is how it looks when you activate the music. Acronym. Give him a light, grrrr, gets on his knees, grrrrrrr, raises his mitter to show uncontrolled murderous or hunter's rage. Crafto. Nervous. Acronym launches herself at Fredo with the intention of finishing him off, but he flies away while shooting arrows, which she burns. Fredo. TCH Silcone. It didn't end when Acronym tackled him, sending them both tumbling off a cliff and into free fall. Outside. All. 8 attentive to what would happen. Haruko. You can. Issei. Come on buddy. On the farm. Marie please lose, desperate. But in battle, Acronym and Fredo threw blows at each other to make them both fall. Fredo. Preparing a fist covered in wind. Acronym. Preparing a fist of fire. Both. Throw and bump their fists. When they did it and were almost touching the ground, it generated an explosion and along with that some codes. End of the battle. Referee. Wow, this is unexpected. All. Astonished and stupefied. Marie. Astonished. Ram. Alabitro. The winner is Vitra. And Acronym is seen raising his arms as he was watched by Arthur. Acronym. Yes 8 while returning to being Saji, I achieved it. In the cafeteria. Wolf. I did it without believing it. Saji. I did it, happy. Siko I did it. Issei. I knew I would win, smiles. In the direction. All. 8 surprised. Enemu. Sees Goho, your offspring are crazy. Oho. Jojo, well that's how my offspring are, smiles. Julio. They really are a surprise. In the dome. Arthur. Wow it seems this is my second defeat, it was actually fun for you to be an inferior, I see you're good as a Joestar. Saji. Well, I learned from the best in his fights, and I know that other inferiors would also want to have fights like that. Arthur. Yes you're right, touches his scanner. Saji received a beat to see his scanner, but he is surprised to see a fraud letter. Saji. But, astonished. Arthur. Don't worry, it's an extra scanner, the truth is, if you beat me, I'd give you that as a token of gratitude. Saji. What about, confused. Arthur. By giving me a good fight I hope you keep it up. Saji, excited, hi thanks, leaves. Arthur. Plus at least I'll know that when I leave they'll have good players, I hope that when we see each other Joestar we'll have a rematch, smiles and leaves. Elsewhere. TCH damn because that inn is already everything, gets up abruptly, it's time for them to feel the wrath of the heroes, furious. After the first ex-slave and sign of love danger. Chaotic Academy Council Office. Maki and Inumaki can be seen with someone, but they were watching the Saji vs Arthur fight until Saji won. Inumaki. Now Arthur was defeated for the second time against an inferior. Maki. Yes, sees a person sitting, I see that with this you have confidence in them, right? Well that was incredible, but do you think he will accept me, nervous? Maki. Calm down, I just didn't expect this, but he was the one who freed everyone, and you too he'll surely accept you although how his girlfriend will be, nervous. Inumaki. Salmon. Maki. Okay, gets up, let's go so you can meet him, and I also have something for the boys, with some papers. Yeah. They marched to go to the upper inn, but the girl who was with them was just thoughtful. Let's see if I can help Aaron Joestar. At the upper inn. Narrated. After the battle against Arthur, everyone returned, although of course they were congratulating Saji for his victory, although Haruko hit the blonde on the head for accepting the duel and thinking he would lose, but he showed them the new scanner. Itadori. Wow, you earned a Frafto. Megumi. I'm surprised he gave you a copy of his best creature. Aaron. He's not the only one, look, showing that he also had one, haha. Issei. But Ajo, why didn't you tell us that you defeated Arthur? Aaron. Well, they probably told him about the heroes, right? He sees Wolf nodding. You see, as they know, they look for people who, for them, should be the heroes of Chaotic, but the boss or leader is just as bad as Marie, since he looks for players with potential, or for them who are heirs of legendary heroes. Emi? That's nonsense. Ray. I know but it's true, for example Arthur is the heir of the Pendragons, that is, the family of King Arthur who are in England and Japan. Emi? Surprised. Sakura. Some are heirs of true heroes, but others were just named that way, and the boss fills them with ideas that they are true heroes just for having that name that clouds them. Yui. But Issei defeated one in the entrance exam, it's possible. Kenichi. They don't accept that because they have great pride, even a boy who was with them was kicked out for being weak, but he humiliated everyone and they wanted revenge on him. Emi. And what happened to him? Wolf. He changed schools and is studying in Kyoto, but we know he is the strongest in the academy. Issei. I see. But don't worry everyone. They see that the teachers have arrived, but so has Sora. Eren. Another perfect date Sora. Sora. Nods as Seraphil hugged the albino's arm. Oh ho. If the heroes mess with us they will see what they are made of, since if Issei could defeat one when he was just about to register, I am sure they can do it. Oh hi. Knock knock. Silica. I open it, going to the door, and when she opens it, Kaichu, surprised to see Maki and Inuyamaki. Maki. Hello Silica. Inuyamaki. Salmon. Angela. What brings you here, curious? Maki. Well, Joestar is here. Eren. Present, raising his hand and amused. Indra. Jum. Maki. Well, you can come in now. Ha hi. Iris. Because I feel danger like Misaki's. But the aforementioned. Misaki. Drops a box of envelopes. Shin. Hey, what's up? Misaki. I feel another serious rival. Shin. Joestar is so lucky, but I feel like he won't be the only one. Back at the inn. They saw a blonde girl with crystal blue eyes come in, but her hair was covering her eye and it was obvious that she was shy. Maki. Introduce yourself. I am Ino Yamanaka. Eren. That name reaches him, wait is it? Maki. That's right, Joestar, one of Diodoria's former maids, and now she's your chaotic maid, smiles. Ino. It's I'm in your care, Bose. Everyone was shocked to learn that, but a white-haired woman was not happy. Iris. First Misaki and now this next thing. Maki. Well, I hope you help her instruct her, and by the way, hi to Kurakami, Phantom and Jeshiru. Take, hands them sheets. Mitsuda. Wait, maybe they. Maki. Yes, they will also have maids of that type of slaves now. Seraphil Angela Aruko. An alarm goes off. At the Intrus estate. Rias. Because I feel I'll have an enemy, while she was planning how the date she will have with Issei will be. Rayag. Rias. Sighs, seriously, she doesn't stop complaining when she sees that another member of the inn has won, tired. At the inn. After that, Maki and Inuyamaki retired to receive the new tenant of the inn, which they saw as nervous and shy. Surely what she lived with Diodoria happened to her. Well, the boys saw the leads that Issei, Sora, and Saji received. Issei. I really have this, nervous. Saji. Hi me too. Sora. As Ajo says, yer days. Angela. A random girl is going to be with Issei. I already had enough with Gremory, but now this, annoyed. Baruko. I won't allow just anyone to be near me. Saji. Seraphil. Freeze the one near my So-chan, dedicated and determined to commit murder. Itadori. You guys are so lucky. Megumi. But you know it's intriguing in them. Labara. Because you say so. Megumi. The one who will be Issei's was at the Intrus estate last year, but when she lost she ended up being Diodoria's slave. Labara. Sora is right. She says she was from the hero faction, but she says she was brought in with the approval of the current boss, annoyed. That idiot. Motohama. And Saji says that she was a newcomer before and without further ado, she became his slave, without believing it. Emi. How can they allow that? Oh ho. As you can see, those students and players have a lot of influence, that is, a lot of power, just like the farm and the hero faction, but there are rules. If you manage to at least defeat them in a battle, their power is reduced and they could do something to them. Issei. Like the rule of the strongest or the food chain, curious. Seraphil. Ha, but not only that, you can also challenge or make bets with the teachers. Emi. And it works. Inichi. Last year they fired 5 teachers when the year started. Newbies. Blank upon knowing that. Oh ho. And it doesn't matter, then they investigate more about their new maids. What matters now is that there is a very important announcement that the director sent me. Eren. And what is it? Oh ho. Well, in times like these you know it's coming, right? Indra. Is it perhaps? Oh ho. That's right. Emi. What's going on, curious? Soma. The field day is approaching where they choose some students from another chaotic academy in the country or another so that they can meet other players and the culture of another place. Labara. Let's see who he chose since they do it every 4 months. Oh ho. Well, he chose the ones from Kyoto. Megumi. Kyoto again. Seraphil. What do you expect, Megu-chan? They have good players. Issei. But that player they said would also come since he's in Kyoto. I don't want to imagine if the heroes find out about this, thoughtful. Ray. Hey Ajo, can you help us a little with your now maid, since she doesn't know which room to choose? Eren. Sighs, yer days, I'm coming, going. Mitsuda. If this is what Ajo's life will be like having a maid, let's see what the 3 of you will be like, seeing the 3 of you. The 3. Sigh tiredly, let's see how this ends. After that Eren was giving Ino indications, but he had in mind. Eren. Could my life get any worse, not knowing what that started for the future? Elsewhere. It could be seen in an apartment where there you can see a figure arranging something. A little more and a few days will be the day I've been waiting for, and I'll see you there. She sees in a photo that somewhat young figure and with him a black-haired man with silver eyes. I hope you're there, kisses the photo, my little star flirty. If they thought that wouldn't be enough, other figures in other parts of different cities had the same feeling, but with other people from the upper inn, which could mean danger. Hyoudou. The boy could be seen checking his scanner phone until he received a message. So I was selected to go to Kuo. Well, it's been a long time since I've been to that academy since that damn day. He saw an image of a boy being happy with a group wearing uniforms similar to Conlan's, but it changed with the arrival of a black-haired boy who looked blue and had a mocking smile, and everyone laughed at him. Maybe we'll see each other again, but this time I'd like to see the expression on your face from that same day. Then the boy shows up again, standing in front of the black-haired man with an annoyed expression. The boy left on a train, but raised his middle finger to the angry black-haired man. Well, if that's the case, I hope to see them faction of heroes, especially you damn patron, seriously, and also it's impossible that you have this. Narrated. He said as he saw his scanner a green creature with black hair and it looked strong or scary. Back to the inn. After that and instructing Eno she was eating, but she seemed uncomfortable or nervous. Emi? Hey, what's wrong? Eno? It's just that I never ate like that again. Nabara? How does Diodoria treat you? Ray. Nabara, serious. Nabara. Hey, that's a question. Siko. But it's not a question asked lightly, seriously. Eno? He treated us all badly, and more he gave us less to eat, but if we want something, starting to tremble. Silica. Maybe he. Eno? No, well, many didn't end up with luck and were traumatized, but we didn't live comfortably with him. Shiru. But on the bright side, you are free. Eno. But I still don't know if they are well understood, you understand. Shiru. Of course. Wolf. Hey, but you're here to start over, except you're the maid of the person responsible for freeing them, pointing at the Joestar. Indra. Jum is only patient because he is a weirdo. Aaron hits the man with the blue-tipped black hair. Kenichi. Don't worry, you're in good hands because we're good people. Everyone gave them a smile that surprised Eno, then began to shed tears as she began to eat. Eno. It's good, well, crying and enjoying the food. Emi. Yeah, comforting her and trying to calm her down. Hazer. Well, that would be a good start for someone depressed, I think. Yui. Hi. Issei. But the one that touches me or Sora or Saji, maybe she's somewhat stable or possibly she doesn't want to be with any of us because of what happened. I wouldn't blame her, but sees Eno, we have to let her adapt. After dinner everyone got ready for bed, but Eno lived in Aaron's room with her partner. Eno. Are you sure I should live here? While sleeping on a futon and in her sleepwear. Aaron. Well, I didn't know how you would put yourself in a guest room because I thought you would be scared or have nightmares about what happened as he lay down in his bed and Iris with him. Eno. I hope I'm not a problem. Iris. Hey, at least it gave you a new opportunity to be away from that idiot who's already in prison, surely everything will get better. Eno. I wish I could believe that. Aaron. Hey, I know it won't get better today or tomorrow, but in a jiffy everything will be better, rest assured of that. Eno. Surprised. Aaron. Well, rest because tomorrow will be a new day with us. The couple fell asleep, but Eno only saw the ceiling, although somewhat thoughtful about what Aaron said. Eno. A new day sees Aaron, who was sleeping, hugging his partner. Maybe it won't be easy, but I'll give my best now, determined. That night marked the beginning of a new path for a slave of Diodoria Astaroth, but also possible problems for everyone, especially one faction. After the hero faction attack. In a somewhat dark room but somewhat illuminated by some candlelighter lamps, but you can see some figures standing while in front of them was a figure sitting in a chair. Leader. Alright everyone, tomorrow we will begin to show that we are the masters and make certain people pay for daring to mess with us. Boy 1. And who are the ones who have to pay? Girl 1. They must be one of the Finca again. Leader. No, but the upper inn. All what? Boy 2. Because against them. Leader. The inn is getting in the way of our plans. All. I think yours rather. Leader. First, knowing that one of them defeated Arthur Pendragon and that another defeated him for the second time, it's time for them to face punishment, and more than that, one of us was humiliated in the entrance exam. Many did not agree, except for some who smiled, especially a certain boy with dark glasses. Leader. It's time for the hero faction to attack those villains of Pizzata. At the inn. Achoo. That sound was from all the residents of the inn except the new one who arrived, although with a thought. Everyone. Because I feel like they think I'm the villain, everyone thought. After Saji's duel and Eno's welcome, another day arrived at the academy, which was a Monday, something that many hate, but in the cafeteria, Issei is seen with Riaz and Akeno having a talk, and with them was Emi. Riaz. So they received the one who would be Ajo's maid. Issei. Hi, and there she is, pointing to Ino, who was next to the Joestar and seeming not to let him, but with Iris, apparently she is taking into account the idea of being his maid. Bakeno. Ara, but wouldn't you have one too? Rias. Tix, tch. Issei. Well, yes, nervous, but Sora, Saji and Shen also received a notice that they will have maids too. Emi. At least Indra-kun won't have any, and that's good, happy while drinking a milkshake. Rias. By the way, you already know that we will receive students from Kyoto. Issei. Oh, the truth is, how will those players be with their decks, or how good will they be? Bakeno. Well, you'll see, since they choose new ones are the most experienced of their students. Emi. Let's see what they're like, nervous. It can't be they are here. They notice something and see that a group of students appeared, but Issei sees that they are wearing the same suit as Kanla when he faced him in the tests. Issei. Those are the hero faction. Heroes. Listen everyone, our faction leader declares a war on the villains of the academy who are the upper in. Everyone heard that and was stunned by it. Emi. Like villains. Rias. Oh my god, this is. Bakeno. Ara, this is not good. So they see us as villains, how pathetic. They heard that to see that Indra was serious. Student 2. It's Dragneil. Student 1. Ooh, when he gets serious he's more terrifying than usual. Hero 2. What does the villain want from Indra? I don't give a shit about what they say about us, what I can't stand is that their so-called leader has stupid ideas about heroes and all that. You're right, Indra-kun. Indra. Sees Ray, thank you. Ooh, if your usual dog supports you. Ray. Jum, look who's talking. Jean, seeing a blonde-haired girl with loose hair. Jean. Do you have a problem with me, mockingly? Ray. Why wouldn't I lower myself to a bootlicking virgin, mockingly? Jean. Gets upset, daughter of. Don't bother, Jean, you're making a scene. Indra. Jum, always trying to calm your hitch. Siegfried, a platinum-haired guy comes. Siegfried. Always the joker. Dragneil. Emi. At least Indra-kun and Ray, annoyed when naming her, are trying to calm her down. Siegfried. But it's true now, we come to put you in your place for what you have caused by. Ray. We haven't done anything, just playing like everyone else. Jean. Rather, one of you thwarts our leader's plans and a rookie who is with you humiliates Kanla. Both. Your leader is seriously delicate, a drop comes out. But they only pay attention to the duels, something that you lack. Ray. It's about time. Maki, sees the council president. Maki. Sometimes you are a magnet for problems or complainers, mockingly. Indra. Funny. Jean. Don't mess with that, Zenon. Maki. I'm getting involved because I'm the student council president, so if you want trouble, solve it the normal way in a chaotic duel. All. Surprised and some excited. That seems fine to me. They heard that to see a blue-haired boy, but the faction stepped aside to receive him. Emi. That boy is. Bakeno, the current patron of the hero faction, Series 9. Rias. Who named himself Cao. Issei. So he's the boss, huh, looking at the boss. Maki. So you heard Cao, serious. Cao. Sure, but let's put something good, it will be a 2 versus 2 duel. That surprised everyone to hear that, but especially the in. Cao. But the creatures that each one will use, it's just one creature. Maki. Well, a duel of 1 but 2 versus 2, serious. Cao. That's right, but those of us who challenge him would be these first, pointing to Indra and Ray. Both. Serious. Cao. And those of my faction, well, they, pointing to Siegfried and Jean. Jean. I'll destroy you, Hitch. Ray. At least I have a boyfriend and I won't end up a spinster like you, mockingly and poking Jean's nose. Indra. Jum. Cao. And let's make bets too. Everyone. Paying attention. Cao. If they lose they will no longer be members of the inn and students and will become our slaves, smiles evilly. That shocked the innkeepers, but 2 were nervous and scared that he would do something to them, especially Ray. Indra. And if we win, what do you give us, serious? Cao. Sorry, it's impossible for them to beat the best, trying to stay calm. Maki. I don't think so, since you've forgotten that Kanla, who is one of the strongest, was defeated by a rookie and is at the inn, she said mockingly. That made everyone nervous except for a few of Cao's bootlickers, and this Enia ticks that he had to resign. Cao. If they beat them they'll keep one of their scanners, although I highly doubt they will, mockingly. Indra. Don't sing victory, human chocolate, he said mockingly at his name. Cao. Annoyed. Maki. Very well, and they know where and when. Cao. After school at the Beta Dome, until then prepare your things because you will be ours, but slaves, smiles mockingly and leaves with his faction. Maki. Sees Indra and Ray, I hope you can beat them. Indra. If a rookie with us could defeat a useless person from that faction we can. Ray. And we also have to choose the most useful scanners for the fight, smiles. Maki. I wish you luck because you will need it. Indra. Calm down, the ones who will fall will be them, and more so in case you think they will do something to Rei, they will pay dearly, serious. In Kuo. You can see Mickey and a friend of hers, but they were at the mall. Her friend is surprised to see Mickey carrying a bag of expensive clothes. Mickey, friend, how did you get the money to buy that? Mickey. Well, Mitsuki-chan. My children sent it to me. Mitsuki. Hey, do those bastards have jobs? Not believing it. Mickey. They don't speak the others. Mitsuki. Issei-chan and Emi-chan, hey, how are they doing? Mickey. They are doing well and they already have excellent friends, smiles. Mitsuki. Well, I'm glad, friend. I say I couldn't stop praying for the care of those two boys after what they went through for years. It wasn't easy for you, and Goro no. Mickey. You can't imagine that my in-laws filled them with silly ideas and spoiled them so much that they became like that. Mitsuki. At least your parents aren't like that, but on the bright side they are making changes to the academy, right? Mickey. I know, looks up, let's see how they are doing. Mitsuki. I hope you are well and maybe you already have new interests, smiles. Mickey. I hope they have good partners, not like those bastards they had, annoyed to remember Issei's ex, but also his daughter who was a blonde. In Tokyo. Narrator. It can be seen in the academy bathrooms where Issei and Saji were. Issei. Hey Saji, do you think Indra and Rei will be lucky in the duel? The Retrina comes out along with Saji, who was in another one. Saji. Well, considering who they're playing against, I hope they have a good game, while washing his hands. Issei. What deck do they use? He also washes his hands. Saji. I know Jean is a fan of superiors, but Siegfried always uses Danians and superiors. Issei. Well, let's hope they have luck in their duel. Saji. Unlike them, Indra will be serious in combat. He was the one responsible for the dismissal of many corrupt teachers. Issei. Surprised. Student. You're right, joins the conversation. Indra is considered the demon of purgatory, since that look he gives is so scary that many believe they can see the underworld, and even more so when he gets angry, even when he's in battles. Issei. Well, yes, I saw their battles, but I would like to see them live to see how they will do. Saji. Don't worry, Indra will be able to defeat them, I hope so, worried. But the girls. Emi. So you're saying there's a chance that Indra-kun and Rei can defeat those two from the hero faction, looking at her friends. Nabara. Hey, I'm sure those two will break the code for those idiots. Angela. But don't worry, Emi, I know they'll have a good deck and choose some good creatures, but they need to think about how they'll fight in the battle zones. Emi. I hope so because that makes me a little nervous. Angela. Calm down, Emi-chan, nothing will happen. But in one part you see Marie with her maid listening to everything. Marie. So the faction will have a duel against the NA, haha, this is very good, smiles evilly. Ram. Hi Marie-sama, and those who will play against them are Indra and his partner. Marie. Jojo, I'm dying to see that, especially how they are killed by two heroes, smiles maliciously. Ram. Ha, uneasy, but I have a feeling it will be the other way around, thoughtful about that. Marie. Let's see if this time one of them falls, maliciously. In Dulio's office. Dulio. There is a duel with the hero faction, seeing Maki. Maki, hi, and the ones who will play are Indra and Rei against Jean and Siegfried. Enemu. Seriously, now the hero faction is at the hunt for the in these days. With annoyance. Maki. Well, the duel will be after classes. Dulio. Well, thanks for letting us know, Maki. You can leave now. Maki. Of course, leaves. Enemu. Lately that inn will have many enemies here, and who knows how many attacks there will be for them, now that they are in the sights of the current patrons of each faction. Dulio. I just hope this doesn't get any worse since, as you know, thanks to those many students were expelled, others were kicked out and also became slaves, mostly the female students. Enemu. You're right, just like good teachers who were replaced by corrupt ones, but many of them were fired after losing to Pizzata last year. Dulio. If you're right about that, well, let's see what the inn brings him. In the cafeteria. Iris. They think they can win this. Indra hi, eats a pizza. No. But they are the strongest of the faction, maybe Issei was lucky to defeat one, but I don't know how it will be now that they will play against Jean Dark and Siegfried Bahamut, worried. Rei. We know what they do, but we come up with good tactics when we have a break, smiles and takes her partner's hand. Aaron. But you'll use your tricks in battle, right? Indra. You already know me, weird, you know how I am in a fight, smiles. Aaron. Yes, looking through his scanner phone watching the fights of the hero faction, well, we hope there is a miracle, I don't want to see you become slaves to them and find replacements for you, drink sangria. Indra. Well, good luck finding someone like me. Iris. Hey, who would be the new emo and the new trendy girl, she said mockingly while showing some veins to the couple. They are so lively but they are fun, smiles. But the heroes faction. In one part of the residences was the hero faction base. And it was Cao Cao, and in front of him were his players who would play the game against those from the inn. Cao Cao. Okay, you two will now show that bunch of villains who you messed with. Both. Hi. Jean. I'm dying to humiliate that hitch Ray, eager to finish Ray off. Siegfried. I will do what I can to at least make the inn pay for their audacity against us, especially for humiliating Conla in the entrance exam. Cao Cao. I like their enthusiasm, so tear them to pieces. Both. Sure, they leave. Cao Cao. Hehehe, smiles maliciously, you will suffer, but you Joestar, you will be next on my list. After first 2 vs 2 fight, Pizzata vs Heroes. Kuo. In the house you can see a female figure, but she had her head on the desk. It's been a few weeks since they left and a few days since the farce was exposed, but I'm really glad everything's been resolved. She sees a photo where that one was, but also Issei and Emi together. I hope wherever you are we can see each other again. Issei Emi smiles and thinking about both brunettes. Chaotic Academy of Japan. Everyone was watching the screens in the cafeteria, and some who were in their rooms, that it would be the 2 vs 2 battle that would be Indra and Ray against 2 members of the hero faction. Emi. Nervous that she was eating a nervous cake. Issei. Worried. What problems you get into, Issei. Issei. Turns around to see a redeed and black girl, although accompanied by another girl, Rias. The Keno. We already know what will happen. Emi. Sees the girl, who is she? Nice to meet you, I'm Dawn, a first year at the academy, and I'm from the farm. Idadori. They have another one now. The Keno. Hi. Issei. Sees the screen, good luck. On the farm. Worry. Ho 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 ho, now they will face 2 of the best of the hero faction, I will not miss this, smiles evilly. Bram. Hi, although I won't say that one was defeated by Hyoudou, since he will tell me that it was just luck, and I have a feeling that something good will come out but bad, but in case the heroes lose, having a bad feeling. In the hero faction. From their base they see on the screen the next battle that will take place. Cao Cao. Hehehe, at least we can vent to them and then go for the final objective. Hero. Refers to Hyoudou, sir. Cao Cao. No, well, he will be the next, and the end he is Joestar, serious and annoyed. Everyone. Now wants to destroy Joestar for defeating Pendragon first, with poker faces. In the beta dome. Inside the dome were the 2 teams that would fight. Siegfried. You know Dragneil, I would like to show you what a hero like us is worth. Indra. I'm not interested in what you say. Jean. Hey Hino, you should teach your dog respect. Ray. I don't think you'll teach me with that hitch face or smile you have, she said mockingly. Jean. But you won't say that when I show the scanner I have, and I plan to make the Interest Estate praise me, smiles evilly and seeing a very strong feminine creature. Indra. Starting to search. Ray. We can surely beat them. Indra. Let's hope so. Aaron. Call, I wish you luck, although with Indra he will say that you won't need it. Indra. You already know, weirdo. Iris. Well, we wish you boy, and be careful. Ray. Don't worry, everything will be fine, short. In the cafeteria. Eno. They think they can beat them. Sora, let's wait, but I feel like Jean will have something to make it look difficult. Aaron. You think Sora? Sora. Hi, since no one expects the inevitable. Iris. Good luck Guis Diaresis. In the dome. They kept putting their deck until they finished. Jean. Well, let's see what they have for us. Ray. You'll see. Indra and Ray closed the deck and showed each one's deck. Indra's hammer. Ing's deck. Ray. How did the eye turn out? Smiles. Siegfried. A creature that not many have, seeing Ray's, and a difficult one to face. Jean. But watch and learn. Both closed and showed their deck so that everyone in the audience was stunned, especially Marie, when she saw Jean's deck. Siegfried's mallet. Jean's mallet. In the cafeteria. Emi. He has interests, stunned. Dawn. It's not true, it's the deck that everyone at the farm wants to have. Rias. Including that noisy dwarf. Iris. Oh my god. Eno. There is no leader of the women of the upper world, worried. Aaron. So this is what you felt, Sora. Sora. Yeah, now this is a tough challenge, seriously. On the farm. When the interest card was revealed, everyone was stunned, but Marie was screaming like crazy when she saw the deck. Ram. No wonder I felt that he has the creature from our farm, surprised. In the office. Enemu. Now they are a little troubled. Maki. Especially since she has interests, one of the strongest female creatures in Chaotic. And Yumaki. Salmon. Julio. Let's see what they have for us in this duel. In the dome. Ray, you can't have that, Jean. Jean. I'm jealous, little one, smiles arrogantly. Siegfried. I think they must be scared to see our decks. Indra. Scared of 2 kittens, I know they are both one of the strongest in the upper world, but I have the rarest of them, and we will kick their code. Siegfried. Well, we'll see. They saw a roulette wheel that started to spin so that the arrow ended up in Indra's group. Ray. Haha, looks like we'll choose the place. Jean. Yes, but the place where we will defeat them, she said mockingly. Indra. Jum Ray. Ray. Hi, spins the wheel. Everyone was waiting for it to end. Ray. Sees that I'm done, well, it seems that where we'll beat them up will be in Kira City, seeing the place. Jean. Rather, their graves will be a pair of. Indra. Better shut the buck up, touches the card and transforms into his creature. Ray. They screwed you, mockingly touches the card and it turns into hers, grrrrrr. Siegfried. Touches his card and transforms into Tangath, grarg, roars. Jean. Well now, touches her card and transforms into Intris, prepare to fall. Kira. You wishin' that we enter chaotic. And so everything shined to begin the battle. In the battle. Kira can be seen walking while Heptid is jumping around in some parts. Kira. Nothing yet. Indra Kun goes to Heptid. Heptid. No, and I suspect they'll attack us by surprise. Kira. Of course. Ray. I already want to share her code with that peroxide hitch. Heptid. Squirts water. When he did that you can see that he blocked a fireball. Heptid. Nice try kitty. But he jumps and dodges some snowballs and Tangath and Intris come out. Tangath. If that's what you want. Intris. Haha, I'll enjoy this, you can't imagine it, smiles showing his fangs. Outside. Emi. Nervous. Issei. Now the battle begins, seriously. Itadori. Let's see how this goes. Saji nervously drinks a soda, I hope they win. Nabara. Which means if Indra and Ray win we'll have an Intris before us. Baruko. That's true, surprised and imagining that. Everyone was thinking about that. Eren. The battle begins. Sora. Hi. Kenichi. I hope they have a guaranteed victory. Sakura. I hope they win. Ino. Are you sure he will win? Curious. Iris. Of course we have to trust our friends, smiles. Riaz. Looking at Jean, Intris, seriously, I can't believe she has Intris. Bekeno. Above all, Marie has desired the estate, but also the estate just to be thrown at her feet. Dawn. But how do you think the boss will take it? Both. Surely a tantrum of his. With Marie. Marie. Tied up and with tape on her mouth. Ram. At least they calmed her down, or else she would have been hit. Poor them though, seeing members of the farm in pain and with marks of blows and scratches caused by the dwarf. In the battle. Heptid is seen jumping and attacking fire attacks towards Tangath, who repels them with the Kyath sword. Tangath. Is that all you have, dwarf? Heptid. No, but thanks for asking. Storm throws an icy storm from his hands. Tangath protects himself with his heavy, but unfortunately he is frozen. Tanigth. What, this is nothing. He didn't finish because he received an attack from Pebblestem that caused the sword to be destroyed and turned into code. Heptid. Now the kitten doesn't have his toy sword, smiles mockingly. Tangath. Now you made this cat angry, grarg, roars. Indra. Well, that's the main part of the plan. Outside. Ino. He thought of that to disarm him, but I have a feeling it won't be enough. Iris. Be positive, Ino. Sakura. You're right. Iris. Well, positively it won't be enough. Both. Hit their faces on the table. Eren. Sees the battle, it's surely his plan, let's see how Ray will do. At the base of the heroes. How cow. I don't know what that emo is planning, but it won't be enough since Tangik is one of the strongest in the upper world as well as Jean, smiles arrogantly. In the battle. Kira is seen dodging the attacks of Intris who had a liquidlesser. Kira. Seriously, you're the strongest using a toy, jumps. Intris. Shut up, you messed up cat. Kira. Better think fast, rock wave. She struck and generated a stone stake that hit Intris, but also made her battle gear come loose, and Kira launched a lavalanche that melted the liquidlesser. Kira. Perfect. Intris. I don't know if you're smart or an idiot like that emo because I'm lethal now, taking out claws. Kira. Well, go ahead, determined. Outside. Emi. Okay, there's something strange, confused. Bekeno. Because you say so. Emi. Both of them left Siegfried and Jean disarmed, but I don't know if they can win taking into account the creature that they are. Issei. You're right. Riaz. What are they planning? Dawn. Attentive, is it a plan for something? Thoughtful. At the base of the heroes. How cow. Now I destroy Jean's weapon, I don't know what those two are planning, but they are idiots for that, maybe it's Ray who is the discipline, smiles evilly. In the office. Maki. Inumaki. Tuna. Julio. I suspect there's something here. Enemu. Hi, well a robot brought her a milkshake and she drinks it. Maki. Well, they took it apart and I think it's part of their plan. Julio. Let's see what their real plans are. In the battle. Angerth. Come on, don't run away, coward, throwing fireballs at Heptid. Heptid jumps while dodging. Indra. How long until Ray arrives? But when he was about to hit the ground, he received an attack from Rockwave, causing him to fall to the ground. Heptid. Ooh, gets up in pain. Indra. Heptid sees Kira arriving, Ray. Intris. Don't get distracted, throws 2 power pulses at the man where Heptid was. Kira. KGH, stands up. Hangath. I don't know what their plan was to disarm us, but it won't be enough for us, smiles arrogantly. Intris. But for this to end we'll give the maximum attack of all, smiles madly. Hangath began to emanate fire and looked very powerful, and in the case of Intris, an icy aura that looked very strong. On the farm. Marie. Jum. It was hard to understand because of the tape on her mouth, but she looked like she was smiling with satisfaction. Ram. Now comes a strong combined attack. At the hero's base. Everyone was waiting for the end, while Cao had a smile. Cao. Now they fell, smiles with satisfaction. In the cafeteria. Silica. There's no worried. Emi. Indra, Ray, very worried about both of them. Mitsuda. Curse. Motohama. They'll have to come up with a plan, and fast. Itadori. God, give a sign, praying. On. Looks carefully. Issei. Guys. Ino. No, worried. Eren. Wait, Ino, not yet. Ino. Because you say so. Sora. This battle is not over yet. That's right, So-chan. Sora. Feels 2 soft things behind him and knows who it is, Sera-chan. Seraful. They probably already have a plan. Eren. Let's see what you have for us, Indra. In the battle. Hangath. You know how we are heroes, we will let them say their last words. Intris. Then say them before we kick your codes. Ray. It's time. Kira. In fact, we are right, Indra-kun. Heptid. Sure, in fact we'll say it at the same time. Hangath. Very well, ready, preparing his attack just like Intris. Heptid. List. Kira. Hi. Both. They see that they were going to launch the attacks, diminishing, they said at the same time and activating their musics that it was the same. Everyone watching the battle is surprised that both chose the same music, while a great light hits them both and their attacks fall apart, leaving both weak. Both. Smile. Outside. Baruko. Wait, maybe both of them. Labara. They use the same music at the same time. Maguri. It makes sense now since offensive magics only work for one creature and they both use the same music to weaken both creatures at the same time. Akeno. RR impresses me, surprised. On. That was amazing, surprised. At the base. How. How this can't be true, there can't be a trick like that using the same music, that's cheating, very annoying. Everyone. But in the beta dome the codemasters can't see them, so it's free. On the farm. Worry moving like crazy. Ram. What a strategy, impressed. In the office. Julio. For heaven's sake. Enemu. Yes, dear, this is impressive. And Yumaki. A double music impressive. Maki. Jum, adjusting her glasses, you know I have a feeling that Dragneel will get a maid for him, haha, she said amusedly. In the battle. Intris. Feels dizzy, this can't be happening. Hangath. Yes, impossible, we will not fall for that. Both felines launched themselves but received blows and kicks from their opponents who had the advantage. Hangath. Grrr, he wanted to give him a fire attack but received an attack from Heptid that made him retreat. Intris. Grrr was going to attack but Kira threw a fireball at her that made her retreat. Heptid. Vinesnir, throwing the pods and entangling both of them. Intris. Do you think that will stop us? We have claws to cut them off. Kira. How about this Rostoxic, throwing the rust powder. He hit his opponents, covering them with rust and leaving them immobile. Hangath. And bad damn. Intris. This won't stay like this. Heptid. I think so. Kira. Hi. Both. Torrent of flame lavalanche, launch of fire and lava attack. Hangath. Intris. No, they can't AI, they receive it and it becomes codes. End of the battle. All. Astonished. Vizada. Yes, 8 screaming with excitement. Itadori. They did it, ha 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 ha. Labara. Those are our Emo and his Mars. Emi. Sighs, how good. Issei. Yes. Riaz. Well, another victory for you. Akeno. Now, you guys are getting stronger, smiles. On. Surprised to see that, unincredible. On the farm. Worry on the floor and wriggling like a worm. Ram. Another victory and surprise for the inn. In the dome. Arthur Jean. Astonished. Kira. What's up, she turns human again, we got them really hot. Heptid. Well, I think it was too much, turns back into a human, too much or not heroes, mockingly. Referee. appears, and Sinstrig Nielstrauss, Indradrani, and Sailor Mars, Rei Hino, 1, choose which of their decks you will keep, showing both of their decks on their screens, terrifying Jean and Siegfried. Rei. How happy I am I choose Intrus, touches the card and it appears on her scanner. Jean. Very astonished. Indra. Since I'm keeping this strange hero's cat, touches the card and the scanner appears. Siegfried. Indra. Well, we're leaving and I hope at least to know how your boss reacts, he said mockingly and leaving with Rei. Both. We really lost to them we lost, astonished. In Dulio's office. Dulio. Well another victory for the inn. Enemu. Hi. Maki. I knew this would happen since they are very lucky, smiles. Indumaki. Salmon, in chibi face. Enemu. They really are a trouble magnet haha, but they are entertaining, smiles. At the base of the heroes. The whole faction was very astonished to see the result of the battle, but Cao Cao was trembling and clenching his teeth in anger. Cao Cao. The inn they always ruining everything we hold dear, sees a hero, prepare judgment for those two. Hero. Hi, he withdraws somewhat nervously at Cao Cao's attitude. Everyone was nervous about that, but about 3 people saw that, but among them was Conlon. 1. What a surprise this came out. 2. Hi. Conlon. Now that inn beat Siegfried and Jean I'm really impressed. 1. Well, that's what I say. The rookie who defeated you was incredible. 2. But you know I'm thinking that things will be different. 1. I think that when Cao Cao came in and expelled the one who humiliated him and went to Kyoto. Conlon. Well, let's see what will happen now. But Cao Cao saw with anger. Cao Cao. You first Joestar and now these two, but Siegfried and Jean the worst awaits you when you return, very annoyed. Elsewhere. The blonde man is seen in a room. Well it's time to go back to that dump of weak losers, but at least I'll be able to enjoy some beauties, but you will be my special target. He said it while looking at a photo on a wall Ria's photo marked in a red circle. I hope you're ready my dear Ria's, gives an evil smile. Chapter Issei's battle lessons. The figure is seen in a limo watching through a scannerphone the battle of Indra and Rei against Siegfried and Jean. That inn has more and more battles and victories the truth is I'm surprised, but more the video changes and shows the battle of Issei versus Ria's and how Issei won. Incredible that he is that boy who played with my little sister and wanted to have him as a husband haha, let's see if you Issei Hyoudou are ready for a master, sorry. Upper inn after the double battle. On a night of celebration, everyone is seen celebrating the victory of Indra and Rei in their battle against 2 members of the hero faction. Sakura. How do you feel now Rei now that you have interest in your deck? Rei. Haha, I'm dying to at least see the hysterical expression of that annoying dwarf from the farm when she sees that I have the creature they call the interest farm, smiles mockingly. Sakura. I can imagine, smiles nervously and a drop. Indra. At least I have a creature worth it, sees Tangaf scanner. Issei. I see that I won't be the only one to have it or rather some of us here have it, curious. Soma. I don't know about you, but we're getting better at battles this year. Oh-ho. Of course my young Padawan, apparently due to the arrival of Issei and Emi, and what we have learned have shown that the players have good talents, even though people do not see them that way. Serafal. Aid in Sora's feat is right now every time we have won some battles and impossible to defeat for example Saji defeated Arthur, and it would be his second defeat against someone from the underworld. Saji. Hahaha don't remind me I was almost going to have a heart attack knowing who it was. Iruko Saji-kun. Oh-ho. But if we continue like this, maybe we'll face the leaders of both groups and put an end to their reign of evil, he said sounding epic. All. A drop falls. Aaron. Okay, but let's enjoy this day and celebration. Everyone began to enjoy the celebration before the eyes of the Joestar maid. They like to celebrate after a chaotic battle, and they are not like Diodori or others I saw, sees Aaron laughing and socializing. They really are good players. Time skip, 5 AM. In the residential area, a chestnut tree is seen trotting. Issei. Hehehe it's been a long time since I've trotted so calmly of course because of my brothers, we had some friends from Kuo almost where we live and it was possible that they would attack me or throw things and with their parents, but now I'm enjoying myself calmly, although how are they not doesn't matter. He continued trotting until he stopped when he saw the Krellan Dome. Issei now that I remember I already have 7 battles won in the Krellan Dome and enough to have a codemaster battle and the truth is I don't know if I'm ready for that or I don't know if I'm ready. Go on, don't expect to see anyone at this hour. Issei jumped in fright and saw that there was a 20-year-old red-haired man with blue eyes, but the image came to him. Issei. Plus it will be a relative of Ria's, curious. Oh sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh no, actually I was surprised I didn't think I'd see anyone here you're a master, curious. Oh no, in fact I am an old student of this academy. Issei. I see what's your name? Well call me Churches. Issei. My pleasure, I'm Issei Hyoudou. Searches. By the way, you are in an academy residence. Issei. Well yes, I'm from the upper inn. Searches. Well, another one it's good to see another one from the residence where I was a student. Issei. Wow. Searches. Tell me why you were looking at the Krellan dome and you seemed restless. Issei. Good. An explanation later. Searches. Sitting on a bench with Issei, I see, so you already have 7 victories in the Krellan dome. Issei. Hi, and the truth is I'm nervous since they are masters and I don't know if my deck can at least defeat a codemaster. Searches. Hey, it's not the cards, it's the player. Issei. What advice? Searches. I say this because I have faced some codemasters in my youth. Issei. Seriously, surprised. Searches. Hi, if you want I can give you some advice on how to deal with one. Issei. Very well, if you want it I accept it. Beta Dome. In the Beta Dome, Issei and the red-haired man are seen choosing their decks, but Issei was watching Searches closely. Issei. I really don't know if it's a good idea, since he'll surely have a good deck if he was here as a student, looking at Searches. Searches. Selects his deck. Issei. But it would be better if I selected my best creatures from the upper world, selects his creatures, and of course Tangath Toburn places his creature. Searches. Sees Issei smiling. Issei. I'll give each of you good battle gears and Tangath, well, his sword, that would be the best. Searches. Seeing what Issei does. Issei. And Mujiks, the ones that can help me in battles, let's see what Searches can do, especially in the places I know, while choosing the place cards. Searches. Still sees him smiling. Issei. Finish, okay, I'm ready. Searches. Me too. Both. Show their decks. Searches. How interesting deck, sees Issei's deck. Sorry it's like this because it seemed to be having trouble loading and I had to take a picture. Issei. Sees only one creature, hey, it's supposed to be a 6 versus 6 battle, that seems unfair to me. Searches. Maybe, but do you think you can beat my Ursus, he said presenting his creature. Issei. Wait, where did you get it? Not believing it. Searches. If you manage to win this you'll know. Issei. Searches. Well, you choose. Issei. The truth is, you better since you will be the one who will teach me how to beat a codemaster. Searches. If you insist, spin the wheel. Issei. Nervous. Searches. Sees the place, Ursus attacks Stalik in the abyss of Prexer. Issei Prexer abyss, seeing the image of the place. Searches. Transforms into his creature. Issei. Does the same. Ursus. Ready to fight. Stalik. Yeah sure, trying not to be scared. And after that they enter the battle. In the battle. At the battle site, Stalik is seen walking around looking at the battle zone although he looks somewhat nervous. Stalik. Okay, calm down, you're in a place you don't know and fighting a creature you don't know, that's no reason to fear. But to his bad luck he hears a great roar to see that on a hill was Ursus while blocking the light of the moon. Stalik. That's reason to be afraid, scared. Ursus. Jumps and lands on the ground, let's fight. Stalik. Gets serious and rubs his hoof on the ground, starts running. And so the battle would begin, or I don't know if I could say it like that since Stalik realized that there was a cannon in front of him and without being able to stop he began to fall, but he used the Vinesnir to stop the fall. Issei. It was close, relieved. But look at Ursus who pulled out a claw. Ursus. Conscious. Stalik. Freaks out and shakes his head. Ursus. Nods as he brings his claw closer to the sheath. Stalik. Denying very quickly. Ursus. Oops, cuts the pod. Stalik. Starting to fall, He fell until he exploded into codes. End of the battle. Issei. He returns but somewhat dazed, heavens. Ursus. Appears, remember you always have to, returns as Searches, watch where you run, smiles amused. Issei. Well that was luck, but I'll defeat Ursus, seriously. Searches. We'll see. Issei. Looks at him seriously. Second battle of Everrain. Ursus was walking while receiving the drops of rain, but from a surprise attack Blazer appears. Blazer. Pebblestorm, launching his attack. But what he didn't expect was that out of nowhere a field protected Ursus and prevented Blazer's attack. Blazer. Wah, surprised. Issei. How did he do that, surprised. Ursus. Raya, throwing a pebblestorm from his mouth. Blazer didn't give him time to avoid that and welcomed him to explode into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Sees that Searches has become human again, hey, how did you make my attack not affect Ursus? Searches. Simple for my Droskin, showing his battle gear. Issei. Surprised. Searches. With it, you neutralize the effect of any attack from your opponent. Issei. Damn, a battle gear that I haven't seen and it's difficult, but I won't give up. Third battle Prexer Abyss. There you see Ursa fighting against Expedian, who seemed to be doing some strength until he pushed the blue being. Issei. It's strong, but I equipped a Lyric Shard as the battle gear appears. Expedian. Very well, I recognize you are strong, but try this, shoots iron balls. But the Droskin is activated and they do nothing to it. Issei. Shit, it doesn't work while using that, let's see if it works with music. Ursus. You have more boy. Expedian. Yeah, Song of Geonova activates music. When I activate it, a green light falls on Ursus, causing him to fall to his knees. Expedian. Ursus. Hahaha, opens his eyes. Issei. It can't be. Ursus. Well done, my turn. A Born Smash shoots a large wooden log. Expedian. Runs to escape. It received the attack and explodes into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Hey, aren't you supposed to give me advice on how to face a codemaster, seeing a newly detransformed Searches? Searches. Hey, the basics of winning are how they defeat you. Issei. Well, to a certain point, but we are not getting anywhere. Searches. But you'll see it. Issei. Very serious and clenching his fist. Fourth battle Glacier Plains. At the top of a mountain path Ursus was looking for Issei, but at the top of the mountain Blugan comes out and shoots ice balls, although his opponent's battle gear protects him. Blugan. Grrr. Ursus. Hehegra throws a skeleton stick. Narrate. The skeleton took the blue yeti, who began to squeeze it and explode into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Sighs exhaustedly. Searches. Ursus attacks Velrith in Prexer's Abyss. Issei. And they'll kick my code, resigned. In the battle. Ursus walked calmly, but hanging on a trunk was Velrith. Velrith. Grrr. Gra jump. Ursus. Sees him. Velrith. Prepares a blow. But his biggest bad luck is that Ursus fired 2 lasers from his eyes, pushing the rhino into a cannon and exploding into codes. End of the battle. Issei. Damn, it's all gone, I've already lost and I've already used the healing music. Searches. Hey, don't be like that. Issei. And since my deck couldn't beat Ursus and you're about to finish them all off. Searches. I already told you, it's the player, not the cards. Issei. But how is this impossible? A little desperate. Searches. Calm down with that attitude, it's not ideal if you're against a codemaster, seriously. Issei. Well, you're right, and when I face one weight, he sees it. What did you say before about fighting a codemaster? Searches. With that attitude it is not ideal if you are against a codemasters. Issei. Eo stares to fully open his eyes. Who are you? Searches. I see you found me, look. He touched his scanner to release some code rings to see the result that Searches was wearing a white tunic with blue details, shoulder pads that resembled the Krolando dome and a helmet with white tips, but like a crown. Issei. Why you are surprised? Searches. Let me introduce myself completely, I'm Searches Gremory, brother of Riaz and Elena, he said, surprising the chestnut, and I'm also the Codemaster Kreland of the Chaotic Academy of Tokyo. Issei. Very surprised and mouth open, you are the Codemaster Kreland of the Academy. Searches. Conscious. Issei. P.O. Because. Searches. I've seen your battles and those of your friends and I know that you have 7 victories, but you were also in doubt about facing a codemaster, so it occurred to me to at least help you feel a great confidence in the battle against a codemaster. Issei. Surprised. Searches. Oh, are you going to give up, Lord Crimson Dragon? Issei. Issei was thinking about how to give up and remembering the abuse by his brothers and at the Kuo Academy, but he remembers the good times he and his sister had when they arrived at the Chaotic Academy, battles, his friends, and even when he fought against Riaz, smiling at him to decide. Issei. Sees the roulette wheel and spins it. Searches. Sees him. Issei. The battle will be Hahakairu City, seeing the battle site. Searches. So your answer is? Issei. Yes, Tangath Tobern attacks Ursus, touches his card and transforms, Grar Gatruge. Searches. Zha, smiles, now I see why Riaz said when she was a child he enjoys the battle, touches his card and it transforms into his creature. Tangath. Let's enter Chaotic Searches Kreland. Issei. Wait, why did I say that instead of Codemaster Kreland? And both entered the battle. In the battle. Ursus began to look for his opponent but did not see him anywhere until a wall appeared. Tangath with his sword was on fire. Tangath. Grrr, I found you, little horns. Ursus. I knew you weren't going to give up Shadow Strike. Narrate. Some shadows were going to attack Issei, but he cut them with his sword, destroying them. Issei. Okay, I think it's time to raise the bar and execute the plan. Tangath. Song of Futuristic activates music. When he activated it he saw Ursus's future attack, which was a spinning kick that he threw like energy blades until it ended. Ursus. Shot blades, throwing the blades. Thangath fired fire attacks with his sword, generating a smokescreen that the lion took advantage of to jump by surprise and cut the droskin and burn it. Ursus. Hehehe, well done, you did it, but not enough, coil Kron, his horns grow. The horns get tangled in the sword, but with some force, it sends him crashing into a wall, leaving him on the ground. Issei. Incredible, I left Ursus on the ground, so that means I can defeat a codemaster. I hope Riaz doesn't kill me and get upset, but I also hope she doesn't cancel the Sunday's date with her. Thangath. Megaruoer, giving a loud roar. Ursus. GRRRR Song of Translocation, activates his MUGICK. What Issei didn't expect was that some rays of light hit them both, so that they ended up inside a canyon. Thangath. Wuo, another unknown place, seeing the place and Ursus. Ursus. Congratulations Issei, you've taken a good step towards becoming a chaotic player. You've shown that it's the player, not the cards. I hope you understand this the next time we meet. Bye. He gave a loud roar, causing the rock Thangath was on to crumble and fall, exploding into fragments. End of the battle. Issei. Sees that he was in the dome, but without SIRCHEZ hello searches. He didn't get an answer, but he saw the dome door open, revealing that it was dawn, and he decided to leave. Later break time. In the academy cafeteria, Issei was talking about what happened. Saji. You really faced Codemaster Kreland, surprised. Issei. Hi, and the truth is I was surprised, but I got somewhat far, but he defeated me with his music song of translocation. Emi. Wow, you came very far, congratulations, little brother. Issei. Thank you. Uji. But you say that he found you while you were jogging and challenged you to a battle. Meguri. This is really strange, seriously. Emi. Why? Meguri. To have a codemaster battle you must challenge him or vice versa, but it's rare that he finds you and then challenges you. Labara. I've never seen that before, and there's no reason for a codemaster to challenge someone like that. Issei. Thoughtful. Later. Issei is seen looking at the Kreland dome. Issei. From what I've learned today, I still have a long way to go and battles to fight until I have 7 victories. We will face each other again. Thanks for the advice, searches Gremory Codemaster Kreland. But what he didn't know is that he was being watched by Searches and with her Riaz. Riaz? Nai-sama perhaps. Searches. Hey, it's possible that I've already chosen the perfect candidate, Sarni. Riaz? I mean. Searches. A long road awaits you in these years at the academy, and besides, he looks at his sister, he's coming, seriously. Riaz. 8 surprised and then gets angry, he. Searches. Hi, he'll be coming this week and I hope Issei can handle him considering the deal is that. Riaz. Yes, I hope so too, brother. Searches. Yes, now go to a dome because a battle awaits you. Riaz. Hi, leaves. Searches. Sees Issei, I'm sure you'll help my sister Issei, I look forward to the day you help her, and maybe what you two promised will come true. Haha, see you Lord Crimson Dragon. That day marked a new path for Issei for his future battles, especially a battle that will put something crazy for the inn and its players. After the princes attack Ashen. A few days ago, the day when War fought Seoul. Some figures are seen watching the fight between War and Seoul in that 3 versus 3 fight, but they saw this with disgust. Indeed. How that mentally ill woman could win this duel makes no sense. Polimorado. Hey, but more than that, she's the girlfriend of one of us. Blue hair. Haha, if I remember correctly, she's Ashen Phantom's partner, isn't she? Green-haired girl. That's a shame. Blue-haired gentleman, we keep watching this. Everyone. They see it. Blue hair. If I remember correctly, they sent him to the superior inn. Let's see what he's done if that's the case. Indeed. You're saying. Blue hair. Hi Shen Phantom, he will be a prince with us, seriously. Present the next day after the Issei vs Searches match. In the cafeteria you see the people from the inn, but they seemed exhausted. Emi. Wow, Professor Grayfier really gave us a hard job, tired. Uji. I believe it, although Issei answered it faster, sees Issei. Issei. Well, let's say it's because of Kreland, haha. Megumi. Apparently after your battle against Kreland you decided to study hard. Issei. Hi, and to plan new strategies in future battles, and one day I will get new cards for my deck. Labara. And you'll buy that on your date since it's this weekend, you forget. Issei. Ah, that's true, remembering that sad detail. Angela. Growls in annoyance at the memory of that. Mitsuda. But apart from that, today and Saji will receive their slaves, and Indra received the notification. Flashback. When everyone was getting ready to leave, they saw that Maki was there. Maki. I'm glad you're here. Haruko. What's up? Maki. Well, Issei Hyoudou and Saji Jeshiru, I come to inform you that today you are going to meet your chaotic maid. Both. Surprised. Maki. Oh, and this is for you, Indra, she hands him a document. Indra. Sees it, it can't be me too, complains. Maki. Hi, now you'll have a chaotic maid, well, I'll see you at lunch, leaves. End of flashback. Labara. And Ray was about to scream really loud. All? Yes. Robot. Appears, excuse me, Issei Hyoudou and Saji Jeshiru, please come to the student council room. Issei, okay, let's go Saji. Saji. Wish us luck. Everyone accepted and left, but at a table a reed was emanating a dark aura. Riaz. He'll have one of that idiot's ex-girlfriends, annoyed. Akeno. Oh, what a revelation, smiles amused. Dawn. Wow, but it's true, Indra will have a slave, that's what I feel about this. But what they didn't know was that some figures were approaching the cafeteria and they didn't have good intentions. In the council chamber. Maki. Well, as you can see, both of you will receive one of Diodoria's former slaves. Both. Hi. Maki. Well, let's start with you, Issei, you can come in now. From one of the doors comes out a brown-haired girl with hazel eyes and like two braids and with wide ornaments. Issei. You are. Nice to meet you, I'm Yuri Maria, a pleasure, and I'll be your chaotic maid, introduces herself. Issei. It's a pleasure, I admit that she looks cuter adorable than Angela. Saji. Angela will die of jealousy, I also feel that Haruka will be the same when she sees mine. Maki. Well, are you prepared, Saji, since the one you got is a foreigner from another country? Saji. Hey, one of the foreigners. Issei. There are foreigners here at the academy, surprised. Yuri. Maybe it's not my interference, but it's true Diodora made it so they couldn't leave this country, therefore with corruption they made them be deported from their country of origin, seriously. Issei. Damn that bastard. Maki. Well, you can come in now, darling. This time a somewhat short brown-haired girl came out, but what stood out the most was that she had two enormous reasons that made Saji's jaw drop, but so did Issei when he saw that. Both. What the hell? Maki. Well, Saji meets your Madi chaotic. Greetings, I'm Fujinoki Nin, but you can call me Nin, a pleasure, Saji-senpai, smiles. Saji. It's a pleasure, I see you know my name. Nin. Of course, and I'm also his fan. Saji. Hey fan, surprised. Nin. I have secretly seen your battles, and I especially loved the one you had against Pendragon. You were the second person to defeat him in a fight between superiors and inferiors, excited. Saji. Wow, I feel flattered. Maki. Well, you better go since the first break is ending soon, so go to your classes. Both. Hi, they leave. And Yamaki. Salmon. Maki. Yes, they will become bigger and bigger, whether in battles, decks or residents, at least they are more decent than most of the fraternals in this academy, and oh damn, I forgot about them, tired. And Yamaki. Frogs. Maki. Yes, the evil toads will come for them, tired. And Kuo. Azazel. I'm glad that life is treating you and your wife Goru well, said while eating with Goru in a restaurant. Goru. Thanks Azazel, the truth is that we are doing well, especially since Issei and Emi give us the money they earn at that academy. Azazel. I'm glad, and what happened with Max and Izoi? Goru. Sighs, since that day they have tried to get us to give them money, but obviously we didn't do it, they made little screams and cried, and without holding back they went to my father's house, and believing that they could move forward, although I don't think the Hyoudou clan sees them well. Azazel. I see the academy is going through a lot of changes due to the dismissals of corrupt teachers, but everything is going well, believe me, friend, but I wouldn't say much about Rainer. Goru. It doesn't change. Azazel. Almost her creepiness is now classified as anyone else's, now she is stalked by the networks and lustful perverts who come to the academy. I don't know whether to feel sorry for her or disappointed, since I also discovered that she did it with them while cheating on your son. Well, Michael seems to do nothing because of the pressure, it's possible that she will leave that. Goru. I understand, I mean, you forget what he was like in high school. Despite being the smartest, he was gullible, and compared to Dulio, he understood everything. Azazel. Yes, by the way, who did she marry? Goru. I think he was your ex from Penemu High School. Azazel. Wow, he's really lucky to be alive, I still have memories of Vietnam with her, nervous. Goru. Yes, but we have to be happy for my children in their new life, and of course they also have interests in someone he, as Mickey told me. Azazel. I'm happy for you, friend. Both. For them, they said as they clinked their glasses and drank. With Mickey. Mickey. What a day this is, Mitsuki, but it was good for me, she said, seeing an ash blonde-haired girl, but being in a cafe. Mitsuki. Well, for you, friend. Mickey. Hey, and how are your children? Mitsuki. Well, Kitsuki is condemned for that militarized school, but Kat, well, she's thinking of entering a very special academy for her, since she will enter by recommendation in Tokyo. Mickey. Good for her. Mitsuki. Hi, although I feel sorry for you and Goru now that they live with your in-laws, I really don't know if that will make things better for them or not. Mickey. I don't know, we lost contact with them when they started pampering them and leaving Issei and Emi aside. Mitsuki. What luck, but I know they will receive karma so they can learn well, if they will learn at all. Mickey. You're right about that. Later. In the cafeteria of the Chaotic Academy, everyone met the new chaotic maid, although many girls, well most of the group, felt very jealous of seeing Mean for their reasons. Issei. Hey Anwar, where is it? Bashen. Said they needed her at the archery field, but don't worry, this one is coming. Issei. I see, but notices Indra looking at the document. Indra. Emi. Something's wrong Indra-kun, curious. Indra. It's about the one who touched me as my servant. Mitsuda. What's going on? Ray. Sees it and is surprised, it can't be. Silica. Something's wrong, curious. Ray. Her maid is a companion of Indra-kun. Shiru. Ah yes, surprised. Indra. Hi, she once joined the hero faction, but after losing and under the dictatorship of Cao Cao, he sold her as a servant of Diodora, and white and clenching his fist. Uji. Hey, look on the bright side. You freed her and now that she's with you, you can make up for lost time. Isn't that right? Nabara. Well Yuji is right about that, they can make up for lost time. Indra. I'll try and. Kaya. Bashen, Noir, worried. Everyone heard that to see that Noir was on the ground and holding her hair, and they saw that the person responsible was a boy with short red hair. Redeed, you damn sick Redeed, don't you dare be near where I walk or you'll see serious problems with me, he said while pulling Noir's hair hard. Noir. KGRRR, growling in pain. Redeed. Oh, you don't want to answer, I'd better teach you discipline. POW. Everyone. Surprised even the robots. Everyone saw that the Redeed received a blow that released the girl, and the person responsible was Ashen, who was Aya. Ashen. Noir, are you okay? Worried and helping his partner. Noir. Ha hi. Aaron. Sees who it was, this has to be a bucking joke. Sama. No way, tired. Silica. You know what's going on? Iris. More like what will happen. Eno. Sees the Redeed, oh no. What's going on here? All the students stood still and saw a group of boys arrive who were very handsome and had striking hair colors that made them look like princes or something. Mitsuda. Is it just me or do they look like yaoi characters? Motohama. You're right, they even surpass Yudo Kiba. Emi. More like the Fujishis of Caddis and Mayama, she said, joining the conversation, making the duo laugh. Wolf. Oh my god, this is it. Siko. Hi. Redeed. TCH was just disciplining that mentally ill woman and he points at Ashen to keep quiet, Ashen Phantom. Blue hair. So we finally see each other, Ashen Phantom. Ashen. And to whom do I owe the honor? Kenichi. Ashen, this group of refined children call themselves the princes of chaotic. Emi. Hey princes. Angela. Believe me, my friend, they have nothing because they think they're such a big deal. The newbies. Please, how many of those do we have to run into? Annoyed. Blue hair. I introduce myself as the leader Prince, Julius Rafa Halford, and my chaotic name is King Royal. Purple hair. I am the harmonist Prince Brad Fufield, my chaotic name is Purple King. Green haired. Jilk Fia Marmoria and I'm known as Mepedian King. Redeed. TCH, well you're lucky you're the first to hit me, my Greg Fu Seberg, and I'm King Chao. Aaron. But if he says Chire he doesn't have it, therefore he shouldn't be called that, mockingly. Policilist. And I'm Chris Fia Arclight, I'm Neo Nagerin. Julius. Well since you're here Ashen Phantom we wanted to propose something to you. Ashen. And it is, doubtful. Julius. We would like you to join us. Everyone was surprised, but the superiors of the inn had a serious face. Ashen. Because reason. Julius. Well you're one of us, you're the heir to Alvetric Tech. Newbies. Emi. It's not the technology company that creates scanners and battle programs, surprised. Issei. No wonder that last name sounded familiar to me. Aaron. I actually know about that. Ashen. I'm sorry but I reject that. Princes. Surprised. Jilk. Hey, are you serious? Ashen. Hi, why would I join a group where one of them was hurting my girlfriend? Reg. Well, she's a pest and she doesn't deserve to be with someone like us, maybe. Ashen. She may have that problem, but she will still be my partner and I will not leave her so long, annoyed. Julius. Well if you don't want to then you don't leave us an alternative. Eno. Oh no, here she comes, scared, just like the maids. Julius. What do you think, a chaotic battle in the Beta Dome, but you will face Jilk since he is an expert with the Mepedians of the group. Jilk. From what I see you share that deck with your partner and you're good, well, you are, but of course there are bets. Ashen. Deal is serious. Jilk. If you win I'll give you one of my best creatures, but if I win you'll join us and also leave that inn, and you'll break up in front of everyone that pest you have as a girlfriend so you can have a better one. The women of the inn were very upset, but Iris hugs Noir, who began to shed tears because of how she called her, and also the bet she said, which angered Ashen a lot. Ashen. I accept that and. Greg. Stop. Everyone. They see it. Reg. If you don't mind, Chris and I will also join the battle. Julius. Seriously, you guys against Shen? Reg. More like the two of them, pointing at Aaron and Sora. Both. Reg. I saw your fight against Diodora and you have the card that has my name on it. If I win you will give it to me. Chris. Hey, and Sora, I know you have a new creature when you came back from America and I want to see that in action. Both. We accept. Jilk. Well, a triple battle, this will be exciting. Julius. Better get your decks ready, they're a treat. A few minutes later. What? Sama. That's how it happened, Sarah-chan. Oh ho. Seriously, now the princes of Chaotic who follows now. Sora. And that So-chan will also challenge him, that effeminate four-eyed one. Mitsuda. Those princes who say that are really strong. Oh ho. Maybe they are smart in classes, but not so much in battles alone. They have been lucky to win their battles, since many do not plan their strategies, he said, smiling and chibi. Emi. So they are opportunists, but no one has beaten them, right? Oh ho. Well, nobody, since many fear them, but most don't want to beat them out of embarrassment, he said, making everyone laugh. Seraphil. By the way, where are So-chan and the others? Curious. Iris. He, along with Ashen and Ajo, went to his room to plan their strategies. It seems it will be a battle of all against all, like the double fight of Indra and Ray. Ray. I'm actually intrigued as to what new creature Ashen has gained since Ajo revealed that he has Char. Intrigued. Issei. Well, let's see how they do. But the boys. They looked at their decks on a virtual board. Ashen. If I want to face him I'll have to use one of my best Mepedian decks. Aaron. It's obvious that he will ask me to use Char, since he has an obsession with having him as the leader of the underworld. Sora. For my part, he wants me to use the new card I got in America. Ashen. If it's not too much trouble you can show it to me since we're going to fight the three of us. Aaron. I guess you should do it, Sora. The ascent to show on the board so that the novice is blank to see it. Ashen. Eyes is. Sora. Hi, my trump card for the battle, a superior aid. He said as they watched as a green man with black hair had a serious look and meant a great chaotic battle. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.